Hey guys, and welcome. I was on mute there for a second, so you missed my epic intro, but trust me, it was super epic. And we are here in the realm of glory and death today, looking at some of our replays from the round of 32 of the Champion of Renown tournament. The largest tournament I've ever hosted. We had over 66 people, I think roughly, so over 65-ish players enter the event, and we've already jumped down, done the round, kind of couple of early rounds, done round of 32. Players in the background are currently playing the round of 16. All of the games so far have been best of one, but this is going to be a very, very long tournament. We have 5 live streams to get through to do this whole event, and there is $1,200 as a prize pool at the end, which will be split between the top 4 competitors. It's going to be absolutely wild. I'm very excited to hop into this. As you can see, we have quite a few replays to get through today. Now, we're not going through the entire round of 32 games, which will be 16 games total today. Still waiting on some replays for some of them. We do about 9 replays that we're going to be going through today. So we have, as you can see, Void versus Honeynut, Energized versus Qden. We then have Dr. Jellyfish versus Battlefield 2077, Hanadins versus Rusky Jim. We then have Livelon up against Elfarian Shades, Hadries versus Papa Palpatine, Nekbert versus Ninja, Raziel versus Cool HR, and then Human Boy, yes, versus Green One. So, an incredible amount of games, like an insane amount of games to get through today. I think we've got 9 replays we're going to showcase, which means that we then have, a little bit more, I think 7 replays we're going to showcase then on Monday, and then on the Tuesday, we'll be showing the round of 16 games. Then Thursday, it's going to be getting into the live stream games, where the quarterfinals onwards will all be done completely live on the channel for your guys' amusements. But before then, obviously, there's too many players to get through, so we're doing it offline and just getting these games crack-lacking nice and early. What's up, Neckbert? How's it going, champion? McRightface, Nate Sweet, how's it going? It's going all good, man. I'm very excited to hop into this. Raptor, what up, dude? How's it going? Caradoc as well. My arch nemesis in Logic's tournament. So I haven't played in one of Logic's tournaments for quite some time. Hope you're doing all good, buddy. Well, Caligar Iron Fist in here as well. Jamie, CJ, Mr. Prism himself does indeed quack. I wish I could watch live more often. Man, like, I have the same feeling when I see other streamers stream. It, like, breaks my little duck heart. I'm like, guys, I wish I could have seen this live. I don't know what it is. Like, the whole thing gets uploaded, but watching something actually live as it's happening is always better. I don't know why, it is the case. So we're not going to be having a scoreboard today because all of these games are best of 1, and there's a few special rules for this tournament. So there's someone came to me, actually came to Turin with an idea for a tournament. Turin isn't doing Total Warhammer content at the moment, so Turin was like, hey, check out this duck guy, and the guy came over to me and was like, hey, I'm a big fan of yours as well. Would you like to do this tournament? I'm like, hell yeah, I'd love to do this tournament. And there's a few special kind of rules implemented into this event. So we have Ultra Funds, which is really fun. I'm going to be delving into the Ultra Funds, but the same size armies. So I'm expecting to see a lot more elite armies in general, and that's probably also going to switch up the meta like hugely. Skirmish Cav's going to be a lot less effective if there's, so many more elite troops on the battlefield that they have to try to like whittle down from long range. And you also must bring at least 3 regiments of renowned units in your army, trying to get as elite as physically possible. But up first, we have Honeynet going up against Void. Should be a good fun game. RTK versus VM. Let's do this. Oh no! Caradoc says he was in hospital for a month? Hopefully you're out now, man, and feeling a little bit better. Hope you're feeling a bit better, my dude. Best of 32? Yeah, best of 32 might be a little bit tricky. It's the round of 32. The round of 32. It's only best of 1, so we're lucky there. We are lucky there. So let's hop into this one. So up first, we have Void versus Nutmeg. Let's make sure I don't have anything on my screen. Looks like we're all good to go. So let's hop into this and watch it. So it looks like Void is coming in with Chaos. Now, in a best of 1 scenario, of course, you want to be 9 times out of 10 going with your main faction. It's kind of more hard to counterpick people in this type of situation. So it is Void with the Chaos up against Nutmeg's Wood Elves, which is generally considered Wood Elf favored. Though if you go very wide with the forces, of course, of Chaos, you can do a pretty big number over on your opponent. And I've already spotted a rule break in but our first game here. I think he's only got 2 regiments of renown, so these guys may actually have to replay this game. as it looks like this is wrong for the opponent. Let's double check. This is going to be interesting to see how many people have forgotten the rules, because there was a few unique ones. It looks like both players, in fact, forgot the rules, so that is fine. We can move through, but a lucky boy there, as only, I think, one regiment round on one side and only two on the other. Guys, I'm going to be messaging both of you about this. It's absolutely a shameful display from both of them, but let's hop into this game and check out the Warriors of Chaos of Void first. So we do actually have Model Horsemen. We have Horsemen and Horsemasters dotted along, as well as some Chaos Warhounds. We then have Chaos Marauders mixed in with Forsaken and Mirror Guard in the main battle line, with some more Chaos Warhounds as well. On the right hand side, we have even more Skirmish Cav, so it is the maximum amount of Skirmish Cav today being brought, which is 6, but also Chaos Knights of Lancers. Chaos Knights of Lancers, pretty rock and roll, pretty badass, considering doing a decent job ramming their way through the enemy formation. Good against the Wood Elves as well, hunting down skirmishers and the like. It's good to have these fast mobile elements to the battlefield. We also have the Summons of Rage, almost a must-pick in this matchup due to their ability to deal with the rather pesky regiment-renowned Stag Knights and their ethereal status. Summons of Rage do come in with magic attacks, which is nice, and Chain Lightning. We have the Everwatcher down on the ground, the Mighty Duck itself, Final Transmutation and Searing Doom is on him, and 2 Chaos Manticores up in the skies, looking to bring the pain to the enemy. For the forces of the Wood Elves, they can be taking a nice defensive approach near the forest, actually, which is quite a smart idea. We do have triple Deepwood Scouts with the Swift Shiver Shards, as well as the Sisters of Twilight up in the sky. We do have the Lost Silver Knights accompanying the Wild Hunters of Kurnos, so there's at least 2 regiment round on this side. If we can find a third one, they will actually have to replay this game. I have to say, Double Great Stag Knights on the right-hand side, and the main battle line is made up of just a basic Eternal Guard. No special ones here, unfortunately. Down hidden in the trees, with a Spellsinger of Life coming in with Earthblood and Power Stone, and Ariel as well with Apotheosis. We have Dwellers Below and... It's not Dwellers Below, is it? Let's double check. I'm confusing myself. No, it's the Dwellers Below, Apotheosis, as well as the Soul Stealer, and the Acon of the Oak of Ages, and Berry Wine. So pretty good tool set. Going for the Double Caster is quite bold indeed. Of course, you do get the double healing, which is quite nice. And I'm kind of hoping that the Lost Silver Knights can carry this one. That's what they're going to be having to do. So without further ado, let's get this cracking. Yeah, these are replays for now. I think you've used the wrong thumbnail. I used the right thumbnail, and then I think for some reason YouTube didn't like it, and it's like reverted back to my old thumbnail. I'll change it after this one. I did put in the right one. I triple checked, because it always does it when the wrong thumbnail comes up. It's YouTube being weird, basically. YouTube, once you do a live stream, it will use your last live stream's thumbnail for some stupid reason. But anyway, the Chaos Warhounds are trying to bound forward. We also got the Chaos Knights of Lancers lowering their Lancers into the Deepwood Scouts, and they actually get caught really early on here. The Great Stag Knights simply not quick enough at all to get up here to protect the Deepwood Scouts, and they have been butchered where they stand. Chaos Knights doing a lovely decent amount of damage there. Great Stag Knights do charge in, looking to overwhelm the opponents. See, Chaos Warhounds are being shut down pretty effectively. More Great Stag Knights are going to be falling back. Lost Silver Knights attempting to pin in the Chaos Manticore, but this is a horrible trap right here. He's come in to try to deal with the enemy. Lovely shot goes down on the Manticore, rampaging it, but the Lost Silver Knights can simply not stand and fight here. The rather annoying Summons of Rage will be coming in here and just absolutely eviscerating the Lost Silver Knights, plus an Overcast Final Transmutation. We have more Great Stag Knights popping forward, but it looks like all of the Deepwood Scouts were far too forward. And the protection at the back, like, it's nice having a box if you can get to the box. If you can't get there, it's not going to go well whatsoever. And the Final Transmutation has already shattered that unit of Lost Silver Knights. The Great Stag Knights as well are really suffering, and the Deepwood Scouts are being terrified and forced back. And oh my god, that is the quickest battle to start this one off. So a very, very swift battle to start the stream here. It looks like it is going to be a very quick victory to Void, with Honeynut just kind of giving up there, which was understandable. He allowed all his Deepwood Scouts to get kind of cut down early on. Lost Silver Knights got absolutely destroyed, and he chucked all his cavalry in to attempt to save the Scouts. But at that point, half of the Wood Elf force is just doing nothing, whilst the other half of the force is fighting the entirety of the Chaos Force. So you definitely need to fight way closer together, particularly up against someone like Chaos, who has a lot of fast mobile elements. When you see those Knights, you instantly run back with your Deepwood Scouts, otherwise they will certainly die. So Void will be booking a spot into the round of 16, and a pretty dominant display, honestly. So the Everwatcher, 3.4k damage value is absolutely absurd in such a short battle. Not much damage value across the board, obviously, from everything else. I mean, the Knights did good, just hunting down and catching the enemy. But the big one as well, 1.1k damage value on the Summons of Rage, taking it 0 damage and just slaughtering the Lost Silver Knights. None of the Wood Elves managed to get anywhere near value for paying for themselves, and losing the triple Deepwood Scouts like this early on, it was just really rough. So I don't blame Honeynut for kind of throwing in the towel there. I think the battle was basically over. All his cavalry was killed, all his Deepwood Scouts were killed, and it would just be, you know, a couple of Eternal Guard against the Tides of Chaos, which is certainly a little bit rough. Certainly a little bit rough. Wood Elves getting spanked. Yeah, that was a rough one. So quickly, I'm going to go change the thumbnail again, even though, let's see what it says on mine. Yeah, the thumbnail's correct on my side, but unfortunately, it doesn't always work, so let's try it again. It might just be the wrong thumbnail in Discord, because Discord, again, also doesn't update thumbnails for some reason. So it should be fine. Hopefully, if you find this on YouTube, the thumbnail's correct. It's just wrong on Discord. Hopefully. Thanks for the great play-by-play. I wish I could stay for the show. No worries, Arid. Thank you so much, dude, for the $10 donation. Honestly, I really appreciate it, man. I really do. It's really lovely of you to support the channel like this. It certainly helps out a lot. So, thank you, you absolute legend. Rules. So, the rules are you have to use Ultra Funds and you have to use 3 units of Regiment Renowned. Neither Void or Honeynut did that. They didn't have the triple Regiment Renowned. But, because both of them broke the rules, I guess it's fine. We'll allow Void to go through here. But, yeah, if he does that in the future round, he will be kicked, unfortunately, if his opponent does bring the correct one. So, you're going to be careful, because the rules are final. So, up next, we're going to be popping in to Kuden of Clan Aimer up against Energize. Energize, one of the champs of the Lizardmen folk, who can certainly put a hurt on anyone. Energize in a best-of-1 format is seriously a dark horse for this event. Now, the entire event's not going to be best-of-1. We are going to switch to best-of-3s from the quarterfinals onwards, with best-of-5 semis and finals. Yes, yes. Yeah, man. Carolog, I hope you do manage to recover. I agree with Raptor here. Says that sucks to hear. Hope you've completely recovered. Oh yeah, Ultra Funds, baby. We're going deep. So Ultra Funds plus triple Regiment Renowned should ensure that we get kind of a lot more elite builds in general. So up next, we have Energized coming in. Well played, my friend. Triple Regiment of Renown, perfect to see. Up against the forces of Quiden, who has only brought... No, he's brought 3. Oh my, thank God. So people listen to the rules. Oh my God. This is a shock. So Chaos versus High Elves should be a good fun fight. Normally heavily favors the Warriors of Chaos, and Energize is a really scary player. But likewise, Quiden is certainly a crafty and sly fellow, and has plenty of potential with his elves to get into this game and get a victory. And at this point, these guys have already won a round. So at this point, all these guys are already bloodied in battle, coming forward to try to, you know, as best as possible, book their spot in the round of 16. So for the Forces of Warriors of Chaos, they seem popular today in this best-of-1 format. We have Marauder Horsemasters and Marauder Horsemen dotted all the way along here for the forces of Energized, as well as Chaos Warriors of Great Weapons. So the Chaos Warriors with Great Weapons, we have Marauders guarding the flanks, as well as the Mirror Guard. So Mirror Guard in the center, looking particularly awesome and beautiful, as you would expect from the glorious Warriors of Chaos. In the back, we do have a double Hell Cannon. Hell Cannon can apply a stupid amount of long-range pressure, so I'm really excited to see how they perform today, particularly against the High Elves, who are relatively elite and squishy. Targets the Hell Cannons, of course, would absolutely love to pound to dust. We have some Chaos Knights in the back. Once again, the Summoners of Rage and the Chaos Sorcerer of Death coming in with Doom and Darkness, Spirit Leech, and a Scroll of Shielding. And then we have Kolek Sun Eater, the Titan on the battlefield, looking to bring the wrath and the ruin to the enemy. Sanodai, Foe Seeker, all that good standard stuff. Now, for the forces of the High Elves, you can see they've got a couple of Illyrian Reavers who are currently getting eviscerated in that kind of weird mist of blood and spittle as they get exploded from the Hell Cannons. A couple more Illyrian Reavers as well, with a decent amount of skirmish cavalry. For the main battle line, it is going to be Spearmen and White Lines. Decent chunk of White Lines in the middle, with Spearmen guarding the flanks. Triple Archers in the center, one of which is the Talons. The others are the Everqueens of the Court Guard, as well as the Sisters of Avalon. So Triple Archers, lovely synergy, of course. Talons give weakness to fire to the enemy, and then the Sisters do bring that fire damage. So I like that combo quite a bit. We also have the Keepers of the Flame in the back. Regiment Renowned Phoenix Guard, elite, bad to the bones, and ready to die for a good old kind of scrap in the name of Ulthuan. So anti-large, marked by Azurin, they can certainly hold the line for a considerable time. We have double Arcane Phoenix in the skies. They're going to be escorting Alario the Radiant to the battlefield, coming with Tempest, Earthblood, and Far's Protection, as well as the Star of Avalon. Without further ado, let's get this battle underway. So some Hell Cannon shots are starting to rain in. The Reavers are trying to dart back and flee as quickly as possible, though they have actually lost a couple of models, unfortunately for them. We're also going to be seeing some Spirit Leech come down on the Reavers, and I really like the Quad Reaver pick here. Very good at counter-skirmishing the enemy Marauder Horsemen, Horsemasters, and the like. Reavers do fantastic against them due to their fast speed, as well as long range with those bows, and they are certainly starting to bring the hurt to the Horsemasters. Arcane Phoenixes have taken a bit of damage. They're moving forward, perhaps trying to get on top of the Hell Cannon even, and the Hell Cannon shots do whiz by their heads as they duck in the sky and just about dodge the incoming shots. Nearly some friendly fire there, but nothing too crazy yet. I wonder if he's going to be planning to go for their bombardment. I don't know if that would get rid of the cruise. I don't think so, sadly. Looks like we are going to be seeing it, though. And this could be a little bit risky, because it is going to keep the Arcane Phoenix pinned here for a little while when it does get rebirthed, buying time for the Horsemasters to really do some nice damage. And the Hell Cannon crew loves it. They absolutely love it. This is just a warm shower for them. They're taking very little damage right now. Of course, they are doughy down here in the ground. Magic really isn't too much of a problem for them. Reavers are being forced back. You can see the Warriors of Chaos getting nice and aggressive now, realizing we're probably not doing too amazing in this skirmish game. We're taking considerable damage, and we can't heal whereas our opponents can. So it's getting nice and aggressive moving forward, and we're going to get some good focus fire. We've got the Talons as well as these Sisters, all aiming at the same unit, this unit of Chaos Warriors. They get that weakness to fire, and boy oh boy is their health just dripping off them, taking so much damage. Spirit Leeches are being used, though, to really punish the Alien Reavers and do some decent work, though they're not in too bad straits just yet. Arcane Phoenixes will be floating over with Alario the Radiant to try to bring the pain to the enemy. Now, the White Lines are moving forward, looking to engage the enemy in hand-to-hand bloody combat. They do get a bit of support from the missiles, and then they crash into the battle ranks all along the line. White Lines should be doing relatively good. However, the Spearmen on the flanks certainly look like they're about to be overrun, and there's so much room around these sides for Marauders and Chaos Warriors to get into and hop on top of the Talons and the Sisters of Avalon. A lot more shots are being rained in. Looks like they're currently being aimed at the Chaos Warriors. You can see the Arcane Phoenixes going to dive down here and help just finish off the Mirror Guard, who do currently have a Scroll of Shielding on them. But Kolek's suddenly to get in here. Stand or die popped. He's doing a little bit of a moonwalk, and he's not quite able to get on top of those Arcane Phoenixes, unfortunately. He does get to punt a few White Lines. And hey, you know, if you don't get your main prize, you can always go for the second prize. But a Star of Avalon's going down, and the double Arcane Phoenix is going for this. I think Alario needs to commit to this fight as well and get all the archers pouring shots in, because Kolek, he does not care if you're an Arcane Phoenix. He will beat the living snot out of you, or simply walk out the way of the healing circle, which is, you know, a good play as well. Archers are focusing firing down the units on the flanks, trying to protect themselves for as long as possible. Chaos Warriors do seem to be in a pretty decent position. Both Hell Cannons, I believe, are currently online, so getting an Arcane Phoenix back here to shut them down would be really nice. But good play by Energize, bringing the Summoners of Rage back. Hey, you want to take out my Hell Cannons, do you? Well, I'm going to jump you and make you pay for it. And they may still go for this, though. There's a lot of Horsemen around. Decent amount of shots going in after Alario. And the Phoenixes do dive in. This is very risky stuff, because the Hell Cannons are unbreakable. So they're going to hold for an absolute age. And now the Summoners of Rage have got here, starting to surround the beast with all the Horsemen nearby as well. Oh, this is so rough. I think the Phoenixes are trying to escape and trying to pull through. They weren't able to get that Hell Cannon, and at the same time, they've taken so much damage, and Earthblood does go down trying to heal up their forces. In the main fight, everything's going really good for the Wood Elves, so this is kind of a disaster, or the High Elves, sorry. This is kind of a disaster, losing their, possibly their Arcane Phoenixes and Lord like this, because they have such a nice firing arc on Kolek right now, and he's really taken a bucket ton of damage with the Keepers of Flame, who are getting Spirit Leech also coming in. If they can just stand on top of these archers and allow them to rain shots down on the Sun Eater, it's going to be pretty tasty stuff, though the Hell Cannon really is punishing them quite badly. We do have more Chaos Knights streaming forward, as well as Chaos Warriors to the main fight, and in the back, it does look like the Arcane Phoenixes gave up their pursuit of the Hell Cannons. Is this one still firing? I think it still is. It says 5 models. Maybe they don't have enough to actually launch it. Not sure. They seem to be in position, so maybe it is going to continue to fire. The Alario the Radiant is floating back to the main fight. You can see White Lines have overextended in their pursuit of the Mirror God and are now surrounded by the Elite Warriors. And in the back, good play here by the Chaos Knights. Use them to run down the stationary archers. Yes, they can't catch the Lyrian Reavers, but hey, they got 120 armor and bronze shields. They don't care about your puny elvish arrows. So they're going to easily run down the Talons, and that takes away quite a lot of the punch from the Everqueen's Court Guard, because they won't be getting that nice synergy anymore with the fire damage. So one Arcane Phoenix does pop down here. Spirit Leech goes down on Alara the Radiant, and it looks like she is also going to commit to this big blob fight. Try to protect her units where possible. That Hell Cannon's doing so much work. The Keepers of Flame, only 21 kills are being focused down now really effectively. Solid Damnation does launch a shot up into the air, and it loops down, crashing upon both friend and foe. But hey, if you've got to sacrifice a few Chaos Warriors to kill the Keepers of Flame, I think that's certainly a good trade. So Finns are starting to, momentum-wise, rock towards chaos, in my opinion. The Elves, they're running out of ammunition on their skirmish cavalry. Their big Phoenixes are still doing relatively okay. This one getting nearish its healing cap. But that is a lot of javelins left, and a solid amount of ammunition left on some of the Hell Cannons. And what in this build now that is left is going to kill Kolek? That's kind of the question I posed you guys in chat. If you have an answer, let me know, because I do not know. I do not have one for you. I don't think there's anything here that can do it. I mean, even double Arcane Phoenix is really going to struggle, particularly with the Summons of Rage nearby to support, and they're kind of driving forward at this moment, looking to get to grips with the enemy. The Reavers are trying to desperately pin them in place and shut them down, buy time for the Arcane Phoenixes to mop up the infantry, but if you shut down one unit, another threat simply emerges. Marauder Horsemen getting nice and aggressive, pushing forward, and Kolek Sunny to hunting down that Phoenix Boutte. Does unfortunately get once again the second prize of the White Lions, but he's up to 63 kills. He's certainly having a relatively decent time. Alara the Rain is near her healing cap. Arcane Phoenixes are going for the last-ditch Hail Mary attempt. Let's go snipe out Kolek Sunny. It's the only chance, and they actually do a bucket ton of damage to him. My god, Stand or Die does currently get popped on him. A few more shots are starting to be whipped over. They are unfortunately, though, by the Sisters of Avalon. If they give them that fire weakness, the Arcane Phoenixes might actually stand a chance. Now, the Chaos Sorcerer of Death is being surrounded and harassed by the Reaver Archers, but as far as casters go, Chaos Sorcerer Lord is relatively tanky, and we have Chaos Warriors coming up to support. Alara Radiant in the sky, hit by Spirit Leech, is really not that lovely. Now, Kolek is trying his best, so the double Arcane Phoenixes are actually bringing quite a lot of pain to him. However, we do have the Summons of Rage being a big pain in the butt, and a Chain Lightning goes down on those Illyrian Reaver Archers, just cleansing them from the realms of chaos. And it seems like it's pretty dominant in the favor of chaos right now. Hell Cannons still has a little bit of ammunition. The Solid Damnation has used up all its shots, but there is so much skirmish cavalry left around. It can certainly circle around and just javelin down the Arcane Phoenixes, if so need be. Now, Kolek Sunny is doing a decent job going toe-to-toe with these bad boys. He took considerable damage, but it wasn't enough. The Arcane Phoenix goes down in a puff of blood, attempting to be reborn, but simply a hollow shell of what it once was. Alario probably needs to be getting nice and aggressive here. Rear attack Kolek, yes, it's risky, but if you're in the air, you're simply going to get shot by Solid Damnations and Hell Cannons and Spirit Leeches. Unfortunately, it's a little bit too little too late, and once again, Chaos are victorious, which is really awesome to see. Chaos getting their shine. Chaos seem to be very, very potent and deadly in this best of one format, so well played to both these lads. Damn, I love the Mirror Guard style. 100% Caradoc, 100%. What's up, Nate? Sweet. Same here, Duck. Wish I could stick around to watch the show. Best of luck, and I'll be around. Keep up the good work. Thank you so much, dude. That is really generous of you. Thank you, man, so much for the $10 donation. I really appreciate it. That's really lovely, man, to support me like that. And hopefully, I know you can't stick around for the whole show. Hopefully, you can come back and watch it. Don't worry, all of this will be up in replays. We're going to be doing every game from round of 32 onwards on live stream at some point. There's going to be so much action over the next couple of weeks. But yes. What's up, Ice Power? How's it going? How's it going? Hope you're all good in the hood. Hopefully a little bit better now. Default Phoenix delete crew were from 7 to 8 bombs. Yeah, if you had the normal Phoenix, maybe it would be good. But that just didn't seem to do any damage. Didn't seem to do any damage. Meeting time for me. See you all in an hour. Go Lizards. What's up, McRightface? Enjoy your meeting, bud. Hope it goes all well for you. Hope it goes all well for you, dude. So, let's have a little look, a little bit of a breakdown of what happened. So, well played to Quiden, very talented player. I do think Alario had to get way more aggressive and kind of dart in with her Arcane Phoenixes. 3 single entities on 1 to goon out Kolek and stuff can work wonders, and she has the potential to heal as well, but I understand in the mid to late stages of the battle, she was relatively low HP due to the fact, you know, Spirit Leeches, Hell Cannons and stuff, so she was taking considerable damage, so maybe he's a little bit scared to chuck her in there. The Arcane Phoenixes, 36 and 40 kills, 1.5k damage value and 1.4, not shabby whatsoever. Was there any other standouts? The White Lions did pretty good, 950 value on 2 units, 669 on another. The poor Keepers of Flame, oh, you hate to see it, 256 damage value. They just got absolutely obliterated by the double Hell Cannon there. I quite like the Illyrian Reaver play. I think you need a couple of them just to deal with the enemy skirmish cav. 4's quite excessive, but they did get 730, 840, 480, and 475 damage value, so not too bad. As for the range contingent, 840 value, 540, and 664. For the forces of Energize, the mighty Kolek Suneater did get 2,132 damage value and 72 kills. 1.8k on the Chaos Sorcerer of Death. We have a little look along the line on the Chaos Warriors. They got not the craziest damage value, but they certainly got decent kills. You know, 86 kills, 120 being a big standout here with 1k damage value. Only 428 from the Mirror Guard. They got gooned out by the double Arcane Phoenix plus Alariel early on in the battle, and they just ended up, you know, fighting some straggling white lines in the back and not really being too involved in the actual fight. The Chaos Knights are a unit I really think is pretty underrated all around. 1,250 damage value on those bad boys with 94 kills. Horse Masters, 780, 790, 1.2k, and 990 damage value. Hell Cannons, 999 damage value. And then, oh my god, the Soul of Damnation, 2,478 value. Oh, that's painful. 2.7k on the Summons of Rage as well. What a unit. What a unit. That was some awesome stuff. You guys talk about if you could have an Eagle Claw bolt throwers. It's possible if you have multiple of them. The problem is the Hell Cannons actually destroy artillery crews relatively quickly. It is possible, but like double kind of artillery for the Chaos is really quite scary, for sure. I think you did a decent job with what you had, but it was a little bit rough from the start there, yeah, the army composition-wise. Next we have Dr. Jellyfish up against Battlefield 2077 or 2077. Should be a good fun one. Dr. Jellyfish is a Dowie main, so we may see some Dowie in action, who knows? Who knows indeed. Have a quick sip of my drink whilst we wait. Give myself a little bit of time to catch my voice. Oh, I failed at drinking apparently. Hang on a sec. Oh, I had some water go down the wrong way. Apologies about that, guys. I had to mute my mic for a little while. Unless you want me coughing into your ears. Wars of Chaos are up there with Beastmen and Skaven with factions I hated to see win, says Joseph. No! Well, sorry, man. You probably would have enjoyed those first couple of games. Let's hop into this one and see if we have any more. We do have Beastmen. We do have Beastmen, man. So you never know. But Dr. Jellyfish bringing in the forces of the Children of the Old Ones up against Battlefield 2077 and the Beastmen forces with a double Cygor pick is certainly some interesting stuff. And let's quickly put this into slow motion and we'll get underway. Yeah, live and learn, of course. Of course. I mean, likewise as well, take what anyone says, including myself, with a pinch of salt. If, like, you can make a tactic work, which everyone else says doesn't work, you know, go ahead for it and try it out. So, for the forces of the Dino Boys, we do have triple Pterodon Riders, or quad Pterodon Riders up in the skies, looking to in the pain from the Air Force. And I do think an Air Force is quite a good way to go up against the forces of the Beastie Boys. Loader Skink cohorts with javelins in the secondary battle line, and then we have Saurus and Temple Guard in the front. I love to see the Star Chamber Guardians here. The Star Chamber Guardians have so much Old One swagger. They're just dripping in it. And we have the Umbral Tide, the Fire Doggos slinking their way through the ranks. I actually did a video really recently on the Umbral Tide. It'll be out over the next couple of days, and why I think they're actually very good in certain matchups. We have double Bastiladon with Solar Engine, one flanking either side there of the Temple Guard, a nice mixture of Skinks and Saurus. Two more units of Temple Guard in the back, as well as the cohort of Sotek. You can really see where the Ultra Funds has gotten this army. It is very expensive and elite. We also have a Lord Mazdamundi, Apotheosis, Net of Amantalk, Banishment, Ruination of Cities, as well as the Shield of the Old Ones. A pretty cool build for the forces of the Beastie Boys. We have a load of Ungor Spear Herds dotted through the formation, backed up as well by Blackhorn Ravengers, as well as Gore Herds, and then some Ungor Raiders, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, so a decent amount of long-range potential there. Double Cygor's pretty scary. The Eye of Morslip on the right-hand side, and a basic Cygor on the left. I say basic, he is triple Silver Chevron, which is certainly going to be helping my guess with his reload stats, so he should be able to chuck those rocks that little bit quicker. We have Centaurs with thrown axes, a decent amount of them along the battle line, as well as the Butchers of Kalkengard, who for some reason always remind me of Geralt of Rivia, just because he's like the Butcher of Blaviken or whatever. But yeah, these guys remind me of Geralt, so that's how my mind works, unfortunately. We do have Morgan the Shadowgave leading the battle line, and ever it is a Brave Shaman on a chariot, but this time just with Spirit Leech, so no Traitorkin, which is pretty shocking stuff indeed. We'll have to see if they're going to pay for that, unfortunately. Without further ado, let's get this going. Hi Ducky, it's Stormcast. What's up, Stormcast? How's it going, bud? Glad to see you over here on YouTube as well. I know you normally watch me on Twitch. And for those who don't know, I have a Twitch channel. Check it out. Discord down, or link down below. Whoa, whoa, whoa. So, the Pterodons actually take some rocks in the skies, which is some very, very impressive rock throwing. I've never tried to throw a rock personally, a prehistoric dinosaur, but I can imagine it's quite tough. When you get a Spirit Leech go down on the Pterodons, it looks like the Beastman player is rather scared of them, and I do not blame him. This is a load of long-range pressure, as well as rock drops and kind of just fast mobile elements, which his build can't handle super effectively. Now, the Lizardmen have pushed forward, but they don't actually need to engage much more than this, as the Basidons can really do some decent damage to the Centaurs. But the main problem is those pesky Cygors. Big long-range shots hitting into the Star Chamber Guardians. That hurts my soul so much. Amortide got a little ahead of themselves, unfortunately. I'm going to have to go back 2 by 2. Tails between their legs as they take quite a lot of fire from Ungor Raiders now. Salamanders and Razordons are a pretty squishy beast, but particularly the Salamanders taking a load of free damage here. They need to get out of there and back to safety as quickly as possible. Lord Mazdamundi gives a little tickle to Morgave the Shadowgave, but does decide to fall back there as the Butchers of Kalengard move forward. And he flees back behind the Sora Spears, which is definitely a good way to do this. Pterodons continue to float forward, looking to get nice and aggressive. Cygors consistently lobbing boulder after boulder at the enemy, aiming now at the Umbral Tide, but also bouncing between all the Temple Guard. One of the Basidons is trying to hit the Eye of Morso, which will blind it, which is actually quite nice here. And a lot of the Pterodons starting to get dragged down in the skies, which is really bad news for the Dino Boys. If they can get some nice rock drops on, you can see the Beastman player is desperately trying to dodge the rock drops, and he does successfully so far, which is really good news. He's kind of splitting into different directions. The Pterodons have been relatively useless, unfortunately. We do have the Gorox Man Rippers in the middle, who I should have mentioned earlier on as well, looking pretty damn epic. We are going to see a summon come down on the Sora Spears, but likewise a Ruination going to be going down, and unfortunately, it destroys a unit, but it's a unit of Ungor Spearhead, so not the best cast by Lord Mazdamundi. Up to 82 kills though, which certainly isn't too bad. Now, the Gauls are actually starting to struggle in the main battle line, of course. We have a lot of Temple Guard nearby, which can be a pain, and it looks like the Lizardmen have forgotten a few of their units. The Umbral Tide were pulled back, as well as the Cohort of Sotek. They need to now get moving again and into the main action. Lord Mazdamundi is about to be surrounded by the Gorox Man Rippers. Could certainly net them and drop a banishment on them, but either way, he needs to get out of this scrap down on this right-hand side. The Ungors are being forced back, and Centaurs taking considerable damage at the moment as the front line of the Beastmen starts to buckle and be forced back. Star Chamber Guardians, or no, basic Temple Guard, have actually found themselves amongst some of the Centaurs, who rather wisely make a pretty swift exit and do some 360 no-scopes with their axes into the Temple Guard, who turn to slaughter the destroyers of Drakwold. Star Chamber Guardians in the main battle line, not too bad, 52 kills, considering they take a bucket ton of damage on the approach. They're doing pretty good, and this battle has become so spread out right now. Lord Mazdamundi is doing a fantastic job, even up against the Gorox Man Rippers. Pterodons are just bomb rushing the Ungor Raiders, looking to get them off the field as quickly as possible. Nice play so far by the aerial core. We're also going to see a banishment come down. Now, this is a tactic I love to do. Your opponent surrounds Lord Mazdamundi with a load of halberds, sit there and drop a ruination and a banishment on you, and all of a sudden they all die, and Gorox Man Rippers are terrified, running to try to save their own skins. We do get Nerve Ammentalk go down on the Brave Shaman. Temple Guard as well as Lord Mazdamundi are going to ramrod the beast now, actually pushing it out of its contraptment a little bit and its restraints, but they seem to be able to get hold of it once more, and Lord Mazdamundi will easily slaughter a Brave Shaman. Pterodon Riders up in the skies are doing a decent job hunting down Ungor Raiders, and elsewhere in the battlefield you can see the more elite Lizardmen forces are really starting to pay dividends. Butchers of Kalengard are hunting down the Basidon solar engine that is being shot by its brother right directly in the face. It is not going to be liking that whatsoever. But there is Sora Spears nearby to support. There's Cohort of Sotek, there's Javelins, and more importantly, the Umbral Tide, who've actually got down and dirty into combat. Beastmen forces have been sent running in all directions. We do, however, have the Gorox Man Rippers rallying once more. Ungor Raiders need to turn and shoot with their Centaur brethren and drag down Mazdamundi. They need to pin an end to his reign of terror. Otherwise, he's simply going to hop around all the backline all day long, slaughtering troops. Centaurs do fall back. They're a tiny bit too late, losing a couple of models, and tiny mistakes like that can really cost you. You lose 1 or 2 more models, that's a couple of axes less you're going to get, and sometimes battles really do come down that close. Lovely play here by the Beastman player, though, trying to ensnare Lord Mazdamundi, catching him here with a warp gaze so he cannot move, and then 2v1ing him here with the Cygors, which is a really lovely play. A big net does go down. pinning these guys in place, buying time for the Temple Guard to get nearby. But this is a big assassination attempt on Lord Mazdamundi's life. Sentinels with thrown axes are coming in, but we get the clutch apotheosis from Mazdamundi, healing himself up. The warp gaze does start to dissipate, and he flees once more. Butchers of Kalkan Guard, oh no, these are Chaos Spawn, are still relatively healthy. They're just kind of running around, having a good day. They're charging after Saurus Spearmen, which isn't a good fight for them, but hey, if there's summon, you might as well just get damage in where you can, as they are getting ripped apart as their flesh boils in front of their own eyes from some long-range pressure on the Umbral Tide. Both the Bastiladons still alive. Decent amount of ammunition on one of the units as well. I would certainly say the Lizardmen are in a very dominant position. Both Cygors are fleeing for their life, and if they can chase them off, which is certainly an easier said than done type job, because there's so many more Beastmen units in their path, but if the Temple Guard can escort these guys off the battlefield, get some Pterodons over here, get more Skinks over here, and force both the Cygors away, it's going to be a massive advantage to the Lizardmen, and I don't know what the Beastmen will be able to do to drag that one back. Lord Mazdamundi still at 2.5k HP, does delve headlong first into the Ungol Spearherds to support his Saurus Spears, so Lord Mazdamundi, a rather diligent ruler who looks after his people. We do get a big fat ruination in the distance, catches Ungol Raiders and does basically no damage to the Gorok's Man Rippers, but they're getting dragged down anyway by the Temple Guard. One Cygor is just about rallying, but it instantly breaks again as the Skinks start poking it up the bum with javelins, and I think that's going to be GG. There's a few elements left. We got Morg at the Shadow Gave. We have some Centaurs running around. But the Umbral Tide's still alive. There's a bucket ton of infantry in general. All these summons have been used up as well. And everything simply is going to break before the might of Mazdamundi. And it looks like the Beastmen player knows this and is certainly going to be bowing out there. Which, you know, I think Battlefield 2077 did a really freaking good job as well. I thought he played very well. Dr. Jellyfish is a pretty scary customer all round. And I love this build. The double Cygor is very cool. 1.2k damage value, 890, and the Butcher's 930, but alas, it was not quite enough. And he didn't have enough punch, really, to drag down all three Temple Guard, plus Mazdamundi, plus the Dinosaurs, plus the Umbral Tide. There were so many problems facing him. He was trying to isolate and finish them all off, and rather than kind of killing one and moving on to the next, did a load of damage to multiple people. You can see half health on one Bastiladon, 2 units of Temple Guard getting really low. Mazdamundi nearly dead, but none of them actually got finished off. So well played to Dr. Jellyfish. He will be moving through here to the round of 16. But well played to Battlefield as well. I think this is the first time we've had him on the channel. You did your people proud, man. So if you do watch this back at any point, take heart. You know, you got this far into the tournament as well and came up against a very talented player. So let's see how the Beastmen did do. So Morgan the Shadow gave 66 kills, only 230 value though. Ended up kind of chasing Skinkies. Now, the Braceshot of Death was doing some really nice damage. I think all round the Pterodons were dealt with relatively effectively with some good dodges as well. But the little net of Ammontok on the Shaman just obliterated him. Zlat came in and that chariot was getting splintered instantly. The Ungors didn't do too much damage, unfortunately, across the board. Neither did the Gors. 687 value from the Blackhorn Ravengers isn't too bad, as is 1.1k from the Man Rippers. Ungol Raiders, 230, 370, 310, and 170 damage value. Centaurs, 340, 200, and 1.3k. So only one unit really kind of performing outstanding there. Butchers and the Cygors, we kind of already went over them, did a decent enough job. For Dr. Jellyfish, Lord Mazdamundi, an absolute powerhouse, 197 kills, 2,542 damage value. Lovely stuff. The Saurus Spearmen, 860 and 1,000 value. My god, Saurus Spears were killing it today. Colonel Sotek honestly kind of missed the majority of the battle, so he didn't get involved too much, unfortunately. 1.2k on the Temple Guard, 1.7k and 767, which certainly isn't too shabby when you take into consideration that they got focused on a lot by the Cygors early on. Javelins pretty much didn't pay for themselves apart from this one unit, which did really well though. 93 kills and 760 value. Pterodons, not the most. A lot of resources was kind of put into shutting them down where possible, but they did a good job chasing off routing units and kind of stopping Battlefield from getting back into the game by allowing his troops to come back, because he had so many troops routed at one point, like half his army was running away, and Jellyfish was just persistently chasing him off the battlefield, which is 100% what he needed to do. If he didn't do that, Beastmen could have come back and rallied. Umbral Tide got 170 value. They didn't really get involved in the battle too much, however. 948 and 1,000 on the Solar Engines, who did use up almost all their ammunition here. So well played once again to those guys, but it shall be Mr. Dr. Jellyfish moving through to the next round. And up next, we have a Rusky Jim of Clan VM up against ODM's very own Hanadins. But before we get there, let's have a little look at you guys in chat and make sure you're doing all good. Welcome, welcome. Looks like we've gathered some more people, as it normally does happen. I'm just going to watch the chess from a recap. Live a little tough since they're so long. No spoils, please. Oh, no. Oh, the stream is colliding with Chess World Championship Endgame. I have to multitask. I already know who wins the chess finals because I'm a prophet. So if you want to take bets, you know, I can let you know who's going to win. I can let you know for sure. Beastmen were too divided to use their overwhelming range prowess. Good point. Good point. You know, they ended up kind of getting dragged around a little, like part a little bit. They weren't able to really like pawn that fire. But yeah, still decent performance indeed. Eldrin of the Mist, the champ, the man, the myth, the legend, indeed. Lizardmen Tactical Reserves. Hey, it's always good to have a few people in reserves just in case. And what's up? I wish I was a vampire in the early 1990s. Maybe you'll get your wish one day. Maybe you'll get your wish one day. We never know what the future holds. What's up, Hanadins? We're literally about to hop into your game. We're literally about to hop into your game. You know it's going to be a good stream when the viewer count is 69. Oh, right. All right. Yeah, so Pip as well as Storm, guys, asking for the format. So this is a big tournament we're doing. We're just showing half of the round of 32 replays today. The second half will be done on Monday. And then we have a load of live streams going forward. So it is an ultra funds tournament where you must bring 3 units of Regiment of Renown. Not large army size or anything like that, so we're going to probably be seeing a lot more elite units than we're used to in Total War Warhammer, because cheap units are so cost effective, right? And then you have 1 or 2 heavy hitters. Well, now you have money enough that you can bring elite frontline plus elite monsters, and you could see there, like, that Lizman build was just so strong. So strong. Yeah, this is Ultra. This is Ultra. So it's pretty damn cool. Basically, someone came to me and was like, hey, I want to help put on a tournament. And they put up a prize pool of $1,200 to be split between the top 4 people, which is really lovely of them. And we came up together with some rules. They had a load of different ideas, and we kind of narrowed them down to a way of making it competitive, but at the same time, you know, really fun as well and a bit more refreshing. So kind of the Ultra Funds is really cool. You must bring the Regiments of Renown, and you guys wait to the knockout stages. We have some surprises, which I think chat is going to love. The players, maybe not so much. I don't know. We're going to have to wait and see. But I'm going to leave that for now and hop into this next one. Rusky Jim versus Hanadins. Greenskins versus Chaos. First time we've seen Greenskins today. Third time we've seen Chaos in just 4 games. So let's see how it performs. And once again, we're going to have the Summons of Rage. They've made an appearance every single time. Hanadins, though, is a real, like, tricky customer to take down. So he's certainly going to be prepared for any nastiness that the evil Chaos can throw at them. And he's bringing the Greenskins. And good news, guys, I am very slowly, but still, getting over my my PTSD of Greenskins from the Warhammer World Championships. I play them now and again, and I no longer get that horrible feeling in the pit of my stomach when I have to cast a game of them. Yes, yes. Quick question, Duck. Do you think Giants will be effective or viable against Nurgle armies? Quite possibly. I'd have to see how Nurgle are fully going to play yet, but they have the tankiness to kind of rock with Nurgle. By the way, Nurglings look absolutely awesome as well, so possibly, yeah, for sure. Anyway, for the forces of the Green Boys, we have Gobbos dotted through the front line all the way. Cheap, cheerful little critters who love to stab and kind of annoy their opponents in every single possible way. We have Morgrim's Major Marauders in the front. Is that it for the Skirmish Cav? Hanadin's the Chad. Only 1 unit of Skirmish Cav from the Greenskins, which is basically unheard of. We then have Blackhawks in the secondary battle lines, going pretty elite and bad to the bones. We have Grom the Paunch in the center with his ever-beloved Giant Reverchor Hag with Spirit Leech, I think just Spirit Leech. With a Blackhawk Big Boss in the back, a couple units of Stone Trolls as well as the Hammer of Gork and a Doom Diver Catapult. We have some Chariots. Orc Boar Boys is pretty awesome to see, as well as Orc Boar Boys on the flanks. So a really cool build. I like it quite a bit. For the Forces of Chaos, we do have triple Marauder Horsemasters on one flank, and on the other side, again, triple Marauder Horsemasters. In the main battle line, we have Chaos Marauders with great weapons dotted all the way along. Also, more Chaos Warriors with great weapons, Chaos Marauders, and Mirror Guard. So a decent chunky force here, plus double Exotic Hero in the sky, Summons of Rage, and the Everwatcher himself, with Final Transmutation, Arcane Conduit, and Stand or Die. Should be a good fun game, so without further ado, let's get this battle underway. Pretty interested to see how the Orc Boar Chariots actually perform as well, but the Hammer of Gork is going to start to unleash some pain on the enemy, as well as the Doom Diver Catapults. Spirit Leech does go down on the Horse Masters, and the Doom Divers do just about connect, maybe? No, they kind of just die, unfortunately, which is the life of a gobbo. You get launched out of a catapult one day, and the next day you're dead. You can't really predict these things, can you? The Hammer of Gork is launching some shots in, and it does completely go over the head of the Horse Masters, which is a little bit unfortunate, and the Greenskin forces shall now be advancing. So they're going to get nice and aggressive. You kind of want to also defend the Hammer of Gork, of course, and the Doom Diver Catapult, but having a Soul of Damnation can really bring the hurt. So again, nice and aggressive and moving forward. Might also not be the worst idea of the Orc Boar Boys just trying their best to push out the Marauder Horsemen, keep them at arm's length away from other key targets, because the Black Hawks are not having a good day so far, getting pretty badly hammered down by the Hell Cannon shots. Gobbo's being used as human meat shields. What's new? As the poor Hammer of Gork is actually going to start getting eviscerated as well by the Hell Cannon. Hell Cannon's very good at taking down enemy artillery crewmen. Horse Masters are being driven back now by the Morgrub's mangy Marauders, taking considerable damage as they do so, and the Goblins simply falling back to safer territories. We're going to be constantly seeing the Overcast Spirit Leech. It basically does no damage to the Giant Ritual Hag because she has the ability to regenerate, and Horse Masters are almost coming in to attempt to take out the Doom Diver Catapult, but the Orc Boar Boys were nearby on standby to support, as well as a unit of Black Hawks. So it does look like the Skirmish Cavalry thought about it for a brief moment and then thought, you know what? Maybe not today. Maybe not today. And they actually can't, try to kite it backwards. Not a bad target, though. If they can take down the Orc Boar Boys, they might be able to gain battlefield control. Hell Cannon shots still going off the Black Hawks, doing a bucket ton of damage. So the Greenskins playing this one really slow and patiently right now. Goblins are just absorbing missile pressure. This is exactly what the Greenskins want. This is lovely. Watching these Goblins die will bring the player full of joy, because the Horse Masters are wasting all this precious ammunition whilst taking big old shots as well from the artillery. Look how many horsemen went down there. Only one lone horse is able to escape. Massive damage coming in from the Hammer of Gork. Is it the Hammer of Mork? It is the Hammer of Gork. The Hammer of Mork's probably something else. In the distance, the Horse Masters once again using up ammunition relatively effectively here on the Orc Boar Boys, but again, not the best targets. And the Greenskins just playing this patiently. Hey, I think we're getting the better trade here. Though my Black Hawks are taking a bucket ton of damage, I'm taking away all of your anti-large potential from the Horse Masters, and then what here is going to be able to kill my Mighty Trolls? I guess we do have the Summons of Rage, of course. Morgus Major Marauders is going to continue to kite backwards, doing some 360 no-scopes and shooting into the Horsemen. And the rocks, unfortunately, completely missed. They're not the most accurate, of course, Goblins, but at least they're trying, and that's got to count for something. More Goblins just absorbing missile pressure in the back here. Really lovely play once again by the Greenskin player. Just to be like, hey, yeah, dancing Goblins, shoot me. And he'd be quite happy boy that is what's happening. Doom Diver is still online, likewise is the Hammer of Gork. They are starting to roll forward a little bit, and you can see some of the Chaos Marauders of weapons have started to take a decent amount of punishment, and the Soul of Damnation. I mean, it's still probably going to be able to use all its ammunition. It's going to be quite hard to kill this thing before it does, of course, being unbreakable, but down to about half HP now. The Doom Divers can actually destroy the artillery piece. That'd be really, really lovely, and it's taken quite a pounding so far. Maybe some Spirit Leeches as well coming in would manage to finish the trick here. Horse Masters continue to poke where possible. Once again, Goblins do bar their path, as well as some Orc Boar Boys. And now all the units of Skirmish Cav are starting to come in, and they're driving their horses hard, perhaps considering once again going for the catapult. But they are forced back with another Spirit Leech coming in. Goblins close the gap on both flanks, and they're just taking so much damage right now. Doom Diver Catapult as well, launching shots into the Horsemen, doing a bucket ton of work. And finally, the Wars of Chaos say, you know what? We have to get involved. We have to get aggressive. There's only 2 Chaos Dwarfs left alive. And yeah, they're just going to stand next to our artillery piece, and they can no longer fire it. So the Chaos going to have to go forward now. And have they done enough damage? I don't think so. They've taken down about half HP unit on one unit of Black Hawks and a third on the other. But at what cost? They've used up basically all their ammunition on their Marauder Horsemen. They've lost their Hell Cannon as well. But good news for them, Chaos Marauders should be able to cleave Goblins asunder really, really easily. Stone Trolls, on the other hand, might be a bit problematic. We do have the double Exotic Hero in the sky, looking to swoop in upon the enemy at the right time. Could be used to try and hunt down Grom the Paunch, which I'd certainly like to see as well. Grom is one of those last few remaining bits of PTSD I get from the Greenskin forces. Horsemen are just kind of dancing around goblins right now, but the goblins love it. They're cheering. You can hear them in the distance here. And the greenskin forces going to start getting nice and aggressive themselves now, with Grom as well as the Orc board chariots charging forward into the Marauders. Stone Trolls following suit. The Marauders actually turn around to deal with the chariots and then get hit in the rear. That's really rough for them. The Summons of Rage are looking to counterpunch where possible and surround the Orc board chariots, which is certainly a lovely play, as well as the Stone Trolls. A good fight for the Summoners indeed. Chaos Marauders are starting to push through. Grom's been a big old pain in the butt, though, as usual, and simply uses mass to drag through the enemies. And the Stone Trolls are rather wisely falling back here. I don't blame them whatsoever. The Orc Boar Boys are jumping Chaos Marauders. Would love to see the Stone Trolls or Chariots come over here to help support. And Black Orcs are starting to come out of their hiding positions and move in to engage with the enemy. Some Goblins have managed to rally. Their main job is going to be to hold back Chaos Marauders. They won't be able to beat them, but they should be able to, at least keep them at bay for some time. In the main fight, Grom the Paunch does get hit by a final transmutation, and it looks like this is the big assassination attempt coming in by the Warriors of Chaos player. He's charging in the Mirror God, and the double Exalted Hero gets some nice damage on Grom the Paunch, but in come the Orc Boar Boys, the lads, the absolute tanks are going to be charging in to pin the Exalted Heroes in place and allow Grom to escape and regenerate. Lucky Banner popped just in case as well. Now the Stone Trolls are going to surround and start to strangle and suffocate these Exalted Heroes, who did kind of get forced to land. They're fighting side by side by the Summoners of Rage, but they need infantry support. Chaos Warriors are trying to come over and give them that support. Does look like we have a Chain Lightning go down, which is pretty cool to see. Coming in from the Summoners of Rage, doesn't do too much damage, unfortunately. A lot of the Greenskin forces getting kited around the battlefield, but the Horsemasters and Horsemen are really low on ammunition right now. Goblin Doom Divers applying a lot of pressure, and the Horsemasters do eventually jump onto the Giant Rotor Hag. Unfortunately, she's going to be getting a load of support in the form of Black Orcs, and the war has indeed been popped. Exalted Heroes in the center here, up against Grom the Paunch. The war is active, so he's feeling bold, he's feeling confident. He's jumping in on top of these Exalted Heroes, trying to take them down. Stone Trolls in support, as well as Orc Boar Boys. It is certainly a fight that is winnable. Double Exalted Heroes, though, are very, very scary, particularly with the Everwatcher nearby, and you always have that threat of the final transmutation, but we did see one not too long ago, so perhaps the Greenskins feeling nice and cocky. Summons of Rage have basically been dealt with, only 2 models left. Grom is going to be able to escape with 1 Exalted Hero going down here. Black Orc Big Boss, the Great Un, is here, is inspiring him to greater feats of heroism, pushing back the Exalted Hero, and it's good to see Stone Trolls performing so well, beating back all these warriors and the heroes alike. The Hammer of Gork still fine, still has 4 volleys, so that's not too bad. Likewise, Doom Diver Catapult has 4 volleys as well, and this is looking quite bleak now for the Warriors of Chaos. I think just too much ammunition used up on ineffective targets. It was a big problem, and then the big snipe attempt failed. You see Grom the Paunch got down to below half HP, then he can heal up, and he just rams and runs over this Manticore. You know, his bones crunching as he laughs and swirls his chariot around to go after the Everwatch. And I love a duck as much as the next guy, maybe a little bit more even. And the Everwatch, of course, is a mystical duck of chaos, but even he himself is not powerful enough to beat back this many units of Greenskins. There is so many here right now. We get some Fanatics twirling the Dance of Death through the Chaos Marauders. Orc Boar Boys as well, just running over the Chaos Marauders and the remainder of the infantry, and it is but one humble duck versus the world. I've been there, Vulture. It's a tough life, but you did a good fight. He does, though, concede in the end, and it shall be a Pyrrhic victory for the forces of Hanadins of Clan ODM and the Green Boys. Very well played. A big, juicy 20-stack army up against the 19-stack of the Warriors of Chaos. So it was a scrap. There were so many people on the battlefield, so much blood and carnage going on, but Hanadins does manage to pull it through. I like the tactical decision to decide, you know what? He may have the Hell Cannon. He may be doing damage to my Black Orcs, but I can see that I'm winning this fight. I'm winning this long-range fight. I am just about clinging on. I'm going to take so much damage, but if I just hold my position, I use the correct units to buff out the skirmish cavalry, I've got this in the late stages of the game with my Stone Trolls. Masterful play by Hanadins. Always great to see him in action. Likewise, Rusky Jim is certainly a very talented player. A good also, what's the correct word? Like ambassador of a VM. Really cool dude, does a lot of good work for them. But it shall be a Greenskin victory. So well played, Rusky. You got through to the round of 32. But this is where your tournament doth end. 1.3k damage value on the Everwatcher isn't too shabby. Exalted Heroes, however, fared far worse. 460, 350 damage value. Ugh. Their kind of big moment, their assassination attempt was kind of fumbled by them, unfortunately. Infantry across the board. The Chaos Warriors did much better than the Marauders, as expected. Just shy of 700 value and 490. But elsewhere, yeah, everything really struggling. And despite the skirmish cavalry using up basically all its ammo, very low hundreds on the damage value. The highest being 400, which is really poor. 900 on the Solid Damnations is solid, and 1,000 on the Summoners of Rage. As for Hanadin's, Grom the Paunch, only 550 damage value. Didn't have the longest time to get his axe wet, really. He kind of just vibed a lot of the time. Giant Ritual Hag, 750 value. Nice Spirit Leeches by them. Black Orc Big Boss, 630 damage value. Gobbos did okay, but nothing too crazy. Black Orcs as well, just kind of got pounded from long range, but they were still in the game at the end, right? 840 value and 349 from the Orc Boar Boys, used as a nice pinning tool. And the Orc Boar Chariots, right, they had this like small rise in fame when chariots were a little bit broken, and then everyone stopped taking them. They're still pretty decent. 700 value and 570 isn't shabby. 570 once again on the Morglub's Mangy Marauders. 1.7k though, and 1.1k on the Stone Trolls is really nasty. Hammer of Gork, 1.2k value. 1.7 on the Doom Diver Catapult. Very, very nice work by both of those guys. What's up, chat? What's up? What's up? Roshua Hag OP, GG, I guess. What's up, Dame Offensive? How's it going? Hope you're all good in the hood. I don't know if you were streaming today or not, but I hope your move's been going well. I know you're moving house soon. Are you going to do a free-for-all Ultra Funds? I would consider doing a free-for-all, but I'm not going to lie, no one watches them. No one like, if I do a free-for-all, like, my views just die on that stream. So what I'll probably do is do, like, a free-for-all off-stream at some point in my Discord. Surprises. I don't like that. Yeah, Storm. The surprises are going to be a little bit scary for you. A little bit scary. I started dancing to this commentary. Is that normal? My boyfriend's looking at me like I'm insane. Hey, don't worry. Being insane is the way to go. It is the way to go. Who was the generous patron also in the finale of Free For All? I'm not sure I catch your drift, my friend. We can maybe do an old funds, like, we might be able to do like a free-for-all tournament or something. I'll think about it, Next we're going to have LeVillain up against Elfarian Shades. LeVillain making his debut in my tournaments and doing really well to get this far. Up against Elfarian Shades, who's a bit more of an OG, and once again we have Warriors of Chaos. How many Warriors of Chaos games are we going to have? Well, Beastmen, High Elves, Vampire Coast. Okay, it mixes up a little bit more later on, but so many Warriors of Chaos being bought. I think really showing that they are one of the best factions in the game, despite not getting that much love. Particularly in a best-of-one format, they just cover so many bases. But up next, we have LeVillain versus Elfarian Shades. So I'm going to have a sip of my drink, and then we'll get back into the action. What's up, Zensky? How's it going, dude? Loving your work, bro. So once again, even more Beastmen, and once again, even more Warriors of Chaos. My god. Blood for the Blood Gods, indeed. Who donated, unless they don't want to get revealed? Oh no, did I miss a donation? Hang on a sec. Oh no, it should say. It's Nate Sweet. Oh, do you mean the person who donated the whole thing? Yeah, it's a guy called Hans. I'm going to do a big thing about it on the live streams and try and get him involved a little bit on the live streams. He does currently live in China, so his he won't be able to watch many of the streams, but he's going to watch them back on replays and stuff. Yeah, Mr. Zensky's Fartoons does some really cool animations all about the, like, Total War Warhammer 3 trailers and stuff, so you should definitely go check them out. They are certainly some good fun. Anyway, back to the battlefield. So we do have the forces of the Beastie Boys in the form of Ungor herds as well as Ungor spear herds dotted all the way along. And then we have Korok's Man Rippers in the center with the Bestigors hefting those rather heavy war axes, looking to try to hack down the enemy where possible. We also have Ungor Raiders in the center of the battlefield, 3 units, backed up by some Razorgore Piggies, as well as Centaurs with Thronax. In fact, ladies and gentlemen, we have the Grog Hooves of Wolf's Run making an appearance today. With the Gorbel, we have Torx the Brasswell as well, pretty standard stuff. And let me guess, a Braze Shaman on a chariot? No, a Braze Shaman on foot. What is this madness? Still coming with Traderkin and Braze Scream, however. We do have some Butchers of Kalkengard, a couple of Tuskor Chariots, in fact, triple Tuskor Chariots, and that's about it. Incurious affair, I would like to think. Looks like the Braze Shaman of Wild is popping an overcast on something. Probably a Braze Scream on the Chaos Warriors by the looks of it. They took considerable damage there. And that's the rocks coming in. I don't know what you miscast on. It doesn't look like the spell actually went off anywhere. The Braze Shaman is having to fall back right now, being escorted though by the Butchers. You can obviously protect them in case those Exalted Heroes want to dance. The Eye of Morslib is launching some rocks, and it is aiming at those halberds. He sees them being the main threat to him in the future, and now he's deciding to fall back. So the Beastmen taking a nice defensive approach, which isn't something you often see the Beastmen do, but they're trying to protect their Ungor bowline and also protect the Eye of Morslib, which is a decent melee combatant at the end of the day, despite the fact it is an artillery piece. More rocks are being launched into the Chaos Warriors, down to just 69 models, so doing a bucket ton of damage to them. They've been squished, and they are not enjoying this whatsoever. It looks like the Centaurs are starting to push forward. Grog Hooves of Wolf's Run going to be aiming at those Exalted Heroes. Not the best targets to hit. You can see Exalted Heroes simply going to be falling back here. Grog Hooves switch their target to the Demon Spew, a very good target, only 85 armor on them, and they're quite a big threat to the Beastmen in general. In fact, I quite like Forsaken Rushers in this matchup. Beastmen continue to be quite defensive-minded, but at the same time, they're not being inactive, they're being proactive. Moving forward their Tuskor Chariots to run over the enemy. The Demon Spew do stop just short of the enemy battle line, and yeah, that did not go well. That did not go well for the Demon Spew. They took a bucket ton of damage. We are going to see the first burning head of the day, and it is roasting Ungor Raiders and Gorok's Man Rippers alike. Luckily, that 95 armor should be able to protect them, but unfortunately, the Ungor Raiders get absolutely slaughtered. We have the Swords of Chaos rampaging into the back line. Double Exalted Hero, Archaon, all hunting down those pesky Tuskor Chariots, who are going to try to fall back to the Gorok's Man Rippers, as well as the Butchers of Kalkengard, and they need to be careful, the Warriors of Chaos here. They've overextended heavily. Razorgors have really good mass, and they will be able to pin in these units, plus a Traitorkin slowing them down. This could be a big mistake. Look at this Exalted Hero who's on his own hunting down chariots. Torx Brass Bull and the Gorbel want a bit of a word with you, Exalted Hero. A bit of a word on what you're doing in our back line. Chaos Spawn are being shut down now by the Razorgore herds, though Marauders as well as Chaos Warriors and Halberds are starting to engage in the front line. Big rocks still being launched in by the Eye of Morslib, doing massive work, though the Warriors of Chaos are starting to overwhelm the centre and this left-hand flank, with the Skirmish Cav moving up, looking to push and drive away the Grog Hooves of Wolf's Run. Archaon the Everchosen is taking a bit of a beating, doesn't really want to vibe amongst the Gorok's Man Rippers for too long. They're not quite on the same wavelength, and he's going to have to escape as quickly as possible. The Swords of Chaos have been just absolutely decimated right here. The Butchers of Kalkengard give no damns for your petty status in the Warriors of Chaos ranks. Exiled Hero, though, and Chaos Spawn are trying their best, and it does look like the Butchers themselves may end up getting slaughtered, one of them getting punted miles in a rather embarrassing show of his strength. Ungor Raiders are going to eat a burning head. It's going to do decent damage to them going down the majority of their line, but it's also aiming to take out this second unit, but it wasn't quite lined up perfectly. Ungor Raiders trying to assist and actually walk into the fire. It's going to catch some Chaos Marauders and do a bit of friendly fire at the end of the day, however. Archie, as we like to call him, Archaon the Everchosen, is going up against the Gorbel as well as Taurox, and he's having to fall back, unfortunately, behind the shield wall of Chaos Marauders. Tuskor Chariots doing a really good job running over Mirror Guard and the majority of the infantry. It does look like the Beastmen are in a pretty heavy state of advantage if we have a nice overview of the battlefield. Exalted Hero has once again found himself isolated up against the Butchers. His horsemen are being forced back by the Grog Hooves of Wolf's Run, and look who's on his way. Taurox the Brass Bull. Brass Body has been popped. He's got his scarf around his neck, so he's feeling invincible, and he slams in onto that Exalted Hero, sending one of his smaller brethren flying. He's like, get out of the way, this is my scrap. And the Exalted Hero cannot hope to match a warrior of Taurox's ability, particularly outnumbered, surrounded, and with a Gorbel in there as well. Warriors of Chaos starting to look really, really beleaguered now. The Gorok's Man Rippers are just about done. One of the chariots has been forced off. We're going to get yet another burning head down the line on the Ungor Raiders, which should hopefully be enough to break them. It looks like they're just about clinging on to dear life at the moment. But the Beastmen forces are pretty rattled. However, the Gorbel and Taurox look so strong right now. There's a decent amount of skirmish cav left. Archaon not looking too juicy. Razorgore herds might want to come and pin him in place before he hops on top of the Ungor Raiders, who are currently doing a lovely job just pouring on that fire. The poor Chaos Warriors of the Halberds, they're just trying to fight some Ungors, man. Leave them alone. But those are archer shots going down, piercing through the weak spots in their armor. If you throw enough rocks at something, eventually you're going to do some damage. Tuskor Chariots swarming in from all sides, surrounding the Everchosen, and he plants his sword in the ground and bows before the might of Taurox the Brass Bull, the one true leader of the forces of chaos. So Elfarian Shades, fantastic display once again, getting to the round of 32, but unfortunately Le Villon was too much for him, and he was in the end shut down and slaughtered. Hope you guys enjoyed that fight. That was some pretty crazy stuff, I must admit. And well played to Elfarian Shades and Le Villon. So let's quickly go for the damage dealt and damage value. 1.2k on Archeon isn't terrible. He got quite a few burning heads around. But unfortunately, they're on Ungor Raiders. It was a job he needed doing, but it's not going to get much praise, not going to get much damage value either. Did a decent enough job, though. The Swords of Chaos got absolutely hammered. Absolutely hammered. The Swords of Chaos as a regiment is retiring after this. They got slaughtered so bad. Exiled Heroes as well. 500 value and 134. It's getting isolated at the wrong points, unfortunately. Infantry-wise, it fared not too good. It kind of got slaughtered, unfortunately, mainly by a mixture of the Tuskor Chariots and the Bestigors. Chaos Spawn fared a bit better, kind of the mid-hundreds damage value-wise, and the Skirmish Cav was used really nicely. 1,000 damage value, 571, and 617. Certainly not too bad there at all. Nice micro by Alfarian, but unfortunately getting 1 or 2 units overextended and alone kind of got pounced upon by Le Villain, and hey, he saw those mistakes and he jumped on them, so very well played to him. Torx Brass Ball, 1.5k damage value. I tip my brass hat to you, sir. You did some pretty decent damage there. 1k on the Bray Shaman, though the Bray Shaman also took a decent amount of pressure and damage as well, nearly dying in the fight that did kind of carry on. 796 damage value on the Gore Ball, and the Ungors across the board didn't do too bad. Bestigors 780 and 2,000 damage value. Oh my god, the Gorg's Man Rippers, like, they got down and dirty. 2,000 damage value, lovely stuff. The Raiders 555, 280, and 111, so not the best work by them. Likewise, the Tuskors got basically no value, but they did break up a lot of units and force them to retreat, which is kind of a lot of what their job does entail. 915 value from the Grog Hooves of Wolf's Run. I love Razorgore Piggies, but today only 394 and 450 value. 1.3 on the Butchers and 1.3 on the Eye of Maw. So really fun build. We will be seeing Le Villain in the round of 16. So those who don't know, the round of 16 is currently being played between now and Monday. The guys have the chance to play their games. They will be live cast on Tuesday. We'll do the rest of the round of 32 on Monday as well. Got a few more to go through yet today. Don't worry, we're not over yet. But we're also waiting for a load of replays from that round, which will be done on Monday. And then from that point onwards, every single game is going to be played live on the channel. So no more replays, everything live. It's going to be pretty crazy. No, 3 regiment renowns are the minimum you can have, Michael. So for the rules, it is ultra funds, and you must have at least 3 regiments of renowns. You can have more. You can 100% have more, but only 3 minimum, basically. It's kind of just mixing up the meta and stuff. It's kind of just mixing up a little bit, you know? One of those times where I want to send every Shadow Walker available to Ulf 1 to CA. Like, hey, give me some more High Elf stuff. It is kind of funny. I don't know if you noticed this, Phoenix King. It is got to the point where CA are trying to, like, kill a High Elf every single, like, DLC that drops, like, in the trailers or something. I think it's a bit of a meme at this point. And I think in the Ogre's song, they eat like a High Elf at some point in the distance, or they eat like a High Elf hand or a High Elf foot or something. They're trying to bring the pain to you. They're trying to bring the pain to you. Just discovered this channel, favorite Total War PvP channel. Thank you so much, man. Hope you're enjoying like all the content or loads of stuff coming out. Does anyone have a list of competitors? I can list off to you. I'm trying not to spread around the bracket too much. Obviously, the future games are being played as well, so I don't want to. Oops, sorry, my computer's being weird. I don't want to spoil kind of like future games and stuff, but let me get it up for you. I'll tell you who's playing in this round. So we had 66 people sign up and play, but in this round we have that doesn't seem right. This is round of 32, yeah. Okay, some people played their future rounds, yeah, of course. So round of 32, we have Tank versus Pugnabon, Green One versus Human Boy, Suave versus Zyphos, Call HR versus Raziel, Papa Palpatine versus Hadri's, Alfarian Shades versus Sir Villano, Undead versus Ice Power, Rusky Jim versus Hanadins, Krablin versus Mofet, Nina versus Neckbert, Falcon versus Calaharman. That is going to be an absolute savage game. Helios versus Shroz Harvum, Honeynut Cheerios versus Void, which you've already seen, Kuden versus Energized, Artisan Tech Priest versus Alfredinho, and Battlefield versus Dr. Jellyfish. So we've seen some of these. We're going to see some more today, and some more on Monday, and then we move through to the round of 16, quarterfinals, semi-finals, finals, all of which will, of course, be live streamed. Yeah, that's who is currently playing in this round. But there's 66 people, so I'm not going to list them all, who actually did like hop in and decide to play. But we still have 4 more battles for today's stream, so don't worry about it. Do not worry about it at all. Thumbs up for the stream. Yeah, if you guys are enjoying the stream, feel free to thumbs up, feel free to subscribe and all that standard stuff. I'm actually going to be doing a bit of an experiment over the weekend as well. I'm actually going to be dropping 2 videos on Saturday and 2 videos on Sunday. And, oh my god, we've got a Torx Brass Ball mirror match. Oh, my brain. My brain. Okay, well, this is going to be interesting. Hey, it's my clanmate as well, Papa Palpatine leading DBD against Hadri's, though. Hadri's is such a scary warrior, man. So this is going to be pretty good fun. But yeah, we're going to be doing an experiment on the weekend. We're going to drop 2 videos Saturday, 2 videos Sunday, both of them like battle videos, and see how much the YouTube algorithm hates me for doing that. If it doesn't hate me too much, I may start dropping 2 videos a day, but we'll have to wait and see how big the impact is of YouTube being like, hey, I don't like the fact you drop multiple videos, and see if it stops you guys from finding them, basically. Anyway, let's delve into the builds here. So, for the forces of the Beastmen of Papa Palpatine here, it is going to be Centaurs, Centaurs of Throne Axes, and more Centaurs. The Throne Axes are the Regiment of Renown. We then have a load of Gore Herds, a load of Ungore Herds as well here in the center. We have double Chaos Spawn, in fact, triple Chaos Spawn. I can see the appeal here. They can do decent damage to a lot of the enemy beasties. With a Brave Shaman of Shadows, coming in with Mind Razor, Enfeebling Foe, and Pendulum, and a Jabberslife. Oh, hell yeah, look at my boy. Look at my beautiful boy. I haven't seen a Jabberslife in quite some time. Really decent combatant here, actually. We also have Torx Brass Ball and a Gore Ball in the center leadership core. A couple of Ungore Raiders, a couple more Ungore Spearmen, and some more Centaurs holding down the build. So nice aggressive build. Now, across the way, we have yet another Torx Brass Ball. So one of these two is a Pretender. A load of Chaos Spawn, so very similar builds in that aspect. But instead of a Jabberslife, we actually have a Gorgon, which could be problematic for Papa Palpatine's Beastmen, simply due to the fact that Gorgon is an anti-large specialist. You'd expect it to outdraw the Jabberslife relatively effectively. It is such a freaking cool model, man. It is so dope. It is such a beautiful model. I mean, scary, but in a good way. Double Manticores up in the skies, a bucket ton of Chaos Warhounds as well dotted around the battlefield, with even more Centaurs as well. Not really much of a front line. Destroys the Drakewald and the Blackhorn Ravengers is about it for the frontline infantry. We also have a Brave Shaman of Wild coming in with Viletide as well as Traitor Kin. So, awesome stuff. Going to be a fun fight. This is just going to be a punch each other in the face. Like, punch each other in the face as much as possible. Spawn versus spawn fight, exactly. I see what you did there, Eldred of the Mist. You think the Beastmen are going to win? I think the viewers are going to win, because this battle I'm hoping is going to be epic. Could end up being terrible, but I mean, I don't know. Torx plus a Gorbel, plus a Jabberslife versus Torx and a Gorgon. I feel the Jabberslife team would win that. I really do. With the extra Gorbel, having an extra single entity is so nice. But obviously there's a load more elements. We've got the Double Manticore in the sky, the Chaos Spawn on Chaos Spawn just bumping and grinding their bodies against each other is going to be a little bit rough for everyone. A little bit rough to watch, but hey, we'll endure. It's get us prepared for Slaanesh, right? So all the Centaurs here for the Force of Hadri's are actually not throwing axes. They're just basic Centaurs. We have one throwing axe, which is the Grog Hooves of Wolf's Run, who are kind of doing that Spider-Man point meme at the other Grog Hooves of Wolf's Run. Really confused right now. Centaur's going to get some nice free damage in the front, or at least they thought so. They get countercharged rather effectively by the other Centaurs, and yeah, that did not go well here, unfortunately, for Hadri's Beastmen. They took more damage than they did give, but hey, at least it is dragging your opponent around a little bit. Jabberslife is quite happy to push forward here. I mean, there's a lot of range power on this side of the battlefield with those Ungore Raiders. They're actually pushing back the Centaurs quite nicely, and a Gorgon only has 50 armor. The way you deal with them normally is by shooting them, and I think that the Beastmen here for Papa Palpatine do have the potential to do that, but likewise, Gorgon may just get in here, kill Torx Brass Ball, the Gorbel, and yeah, it could be GG straight away. We'll have to wait and see. So both forces are realigning. They've kind of completely switched the deployment zones, actually. They're kind of going their width ways along the battlefield now. And this is only really good news here for the Green Beastmen, as they've got more range potential, so they can just add up all this damage over time. Though it's been nothing too significant so far. Jabberslife is going to bound out to the left-hand side, just waiting patiently for the right opportunity to strike, as the Ungore Raiders do unleash a deadly salvo into the Chaos Spawn. Their mighty 10 armor not going to be helping out too much, but in comes the big fight. Torx Brass Ball commits with the Gorgon, and the Jabberslife is going to react. Is Torx going to take up the challenge of the second Taurox? Looks like at the moment he's just kind of standing around. Jabberslife is trying its best. It will be able to delete all this infantry, which is really good news. And in he comes, Gorbel and Torx in a rear attack into the Gorgon, plus throwing axes and Ungore Raider support. This Gorgon needs to be very, very careful or get some support by the Manticores. Down on this side, you can see an absolute crumping though. Hadrian comes in and just butchers two units of Centaurs like they were nothing, using his vast superior mobility force just to crush them. But as he's doing that, the Gorgon is not having a good day. It's getting absolutely slaughtered and driven back from the main fight. A nice tactical retreat, however, I must admit. In the main fight, it does look like we have Occam's Mindrazor Overcast going down here by the Green Beastmen. That's going to be improving their stats a lot. Look at these Chaos Spawn. They are just destroying and grinding through the enemy ones with deadly efficiency. Javaslav is hunting down the Gorgon with a summoned unit of Chaos Spawn. No, that's just a normal unit. I don't know how they would have appeared otherwise. The Brave Shaman gets absolutely beat up by Torx and the Gorball, and it looks like the Javaslav is proving once and for all who is the true ruler. Who is the true king of the monsters? The Gorgon's struggling so hard. And with a Gorball and Torx nearby, they should be able to lift up their war axes and just start sinking it into flesh. The Gorgon, though, is nothing to joke at. Like, it's a tough beastie, so you need to be careful. With Ungor Raider support, I would definitely take this fight down here. All the infantry has been wrapped up for the most part from Hadrian's forces, though he still has his fast mobile elements, chasing off enemy troops and starting to do some nice rear attacks as well. Manticore's doing a really fantastic job, but the Gorgon is just getting beat up so bad. Only 8 kills going to be driven away from the fight once again. Torx does stand alone now against the true Torx, plus a Gorball, who body slams into him. Restless style. Both of them end up on the ground and they get up again, and the old scrap is happening once more. But look at this. All the mobile elements of Hadrian's force now going to start rear attacking with the Gorgon. A lovely 2-for-1 punch. Gorgon gets some big slaps on that Gorball, and it looks like it could be a nice little assassination attempt coming in, but the Javaslav is quick to react and be moving over to this main fight. Both the Manticores swooping in as well. However, we do have a, once again, Occam's Mindrazor. It's really cool to see the Overcast. You don't see it terribly often. It is coming down. Javaslav with that buff going toe-to-toes here with the Gorgon, and I think he's going to have it. I think he's going to have it. He keeps knocking him down. 480 HP, he will regenerate all the time he's in combat, but the Javaslav hits way harder than he can regenerate. Torx Brass Ball versus Torx Brass Ball in the middle. Manticores are in here as well. Javaslav getting very, very danger low, and we're about to see a disgusting Traitorkin come in. Oh no! Look at that damage. So many units. They did lose the Gorgon, though. The Mighty Beast has fallen here. You can see Centaurs and Chaos Spawn using his body to survey the battlefield a little bit easier. And the Manticores are rampaged in here, despite that lovely Traitorkin. You can see Torx Brass Spawn, the Gorball, doing a decent job right now. Very close scrap between these competitors. I've seen battles between them before, and they always tend to be really good. Manticore has rampaged into Chaos Spawn. We do have some Chaos Warhounds and Centaurs who can come back for the Red Beastmen of Hadrian's. And it looks like the Brave Shaman escorts some Ungores off and can come back once more. He just needs to stay alive, save up those Traitorkins, and get ready to drop them upon the enemy. Javaslav still going really strong, though. Doing a decent job at the moment. You can see the Grog Hooves of Wolf's Run are actually in combat with their Centaur brethren, trying to break this Gorball and finish it off and isolate it. But it just about stands firm with the Javaslav coming in. It gets a boost to its morale. And yeah, these units need to fall back. Brave Shaman's jumping in there, as well as Torx Brass Bull, trying to assassinate these key elements while possible, because the infantry fight has certainly gone in the way of the Green Beastmen and Papa Palpatine. He's got Chaos Spawn left. He's got Ungor Spearheads left. He's even got the Black Horn Ravagers still kicking it and fighting some of the Centaurs. So big fight going down in the middle. Torx Brass Ball is, both Torx Brass Balls are trying to make like a sandwich with the basic Gorball. One of them gets annoyed and just whacks the Gorball aside, I think actually killing him, which is quite funny. And now it's just a big old scrap in the middle. The Manticore supporting Torx Brass Ball. Where is that Javaslav? It is running for its life and being escorted off the battlefield by the Chaos Warhounds, which is a really good play, although they are very close to breaking themselves here. In the main fight, we do have the Manticore supporting Torx and the Brave Shaman going up against the enemy Torx. But it's a pretty close fight, honestly. It's kind of anyone's game right now. The Destroyers and the Chaos Spawn are starting to flood in from Papa Palpatine's forces, but the Pharaoh Manticore swoops down for Hadrian's, and it does look like that Brave Shaman has been forced back. Manticores trying their best to cycle charge where possible, but the red Torx is broken. He is broken. The green Torx Brass Body has been popped. He grabs the Manticore's head and splits it open with his bare hands before turning to roly-poly into the other Manticore. That Manticore just whips him out the way, though. So come on, bro. You gotta try better than that. And is trying its best to bring down Torx. Very close game so far. Brave Shaman needs to rally. Likewise does Torx Brass Ball, or the Green Beastmen will win this, because the infantry fight is really not going well for them, like, at all. Chaos Warhounds pouring in, Centaurs pouring in as well. We do have the Grog Hooves of Wolf's Run, who can throw some axes, but they're aiming them at Torque's Brass Ball, and he's got 1000 HP, but unfortunately the Grog Hooves against the Grog Hooves in a mirror match to blow the mind and confuse everyone is happening right now, and we're going to have Torques on top of Torques action just to help that out as they butt heads, and it does look like the green Torques went absolutely flying in a rather dramatic fashion, I must admit. That's a little bit of GCSE acting there by Torques, but he is getting absolutely pounded right now, and I think Papa Palpatine is going to win this one in a, quite frankly, ridiculous mirror match. Arguably my favorite game of the stream so far. That was wild, but Palpatine shall be moving on to the round of 16. Hadri's will be going out, and Hadri's is one of those players you expect to see in the top 8 of tournaments, kind of, you know, every single time you see him play. I'm like, oh, it's Hadri's, okay, he's probably going to get to, like, the semi-finals at least. But it looks like Papa Palpatine is going to be sending him home early here, and a Pyrrhic victory for the forces of the Green Beastmen, and the Jabba the Hutt, as he's called, of Clan DBD. Well played to both these guys. Very close game. 2 big fat 20 stacks. Both players kind of with some similar ideas. You know, the big monsters supporting Taurox and the Chaos Spawn, and some very different ideas. More mobility by Hadri's, more infantry by Papa Palpatine, and in the end, it came down to the fact that he got the better engagements and sniped that Gorgon nice and early. Torque's Brass Ball. Well, 3,000 damage value. Oh my god, that is disgusting. That is so rough. 3,000 damage value up against 1,200. So we proved who the true Taurox was here. At the end of it, Torques wakes up sweating. It was all a dream. What's up, Zach? How's it going, champ? And Aloys, what's up? I haven't seen you guys in ages. Hope you're all good in the hood. Hope you're all good. Man, that was some crazy stuff. I love the fact he went Jabba the Hutt and then brought Jabba Slife as well. Jabba Slife got 1.3k damage value. The Gorgon got 1.4, so it got outdone, but hey, it won the war, and that's all that matters. Anything crazy damage value-wise, not going to go through everything, but 1.4 on the Grog Hooves Wolves runs really tasty. I like the Ungol Raider support. I mean, 1,000 damage value and 551. Such a crucial unit sometimes that is often overlooked as a cheap unit of archers like this, because the lack of armor on the Beastmen forces really does mean they can pack a big punch against large monsters. Black Horn Ramagers got 1,000 damage value, which is quite tasty. 1,000 on the Destroyers of Drakwold. And yeah, they beat... So it does look like, yeah, Papa Palpatine had the true units. 1.7 on the Gorb was quite nice. Yeah, like all his regiment renowns. 1k, 1k... 1.4k, we got 100, 446, and 784. So yeah, all the Papa Palpatine stuff just did better. Just did better. 949 on the Brayshaw, and that Traitorkin was really lovely and nearly swerved it. The Centaur play was beautiful. 550, 950, 660, 950 value. Really good work by them. Manticores, 1.2k, 1.1k. It's so good. But it wasn't quite enough. Really well played to Hadri's. Shame to see him ban out of a tournament. But good to see Papa Palpatine is going to be progressing as well. So 2 more replays for today. 2 more replays for today. We have Neckbit up next. We have the Scion of Slanesh up against Ninja. So that's Neckbit versus Ninja. Oh, Scion of Slanesh. I actually cast on your games recently. I didn't realize you were Neckbit. And then we have Raziel versus Cool HR to end this down, which is going to be an RTK versus ODM showdown, which should certainly be pretty good fun. The Jabber. The Jabber indeed. The Jabber indeed. Oh my god, we finally know how the Lords keep dying in all those battles, are getting revived over and over again. Oh no, what's this? Oh, they're just having dreams. A synced animation for Torques versus Taurox, like a mirror match animations, would be really freaking cool. They'd be really cool. Now that's a first. Yeah, Beastmen v Beastmen. Madness, pure madness. Everyone's like, oh my god, this is crazy. So the games we have left are Neckbit versus Ninja. Wait, I know we got 3 games left. Razar versus Cool HR, and then Human Boy versus Green One. I didn't know what, I was like, I swear there was another game here. So still got 3 games, guys. Don't worry. Don't worry. Still 3 games. Just taking a short break so I can recover my voice a little bit. That one took it out of me for sure. Yeah, Torques wasn't even here, Aloys. I'm really upset. Torques didn't get to watch this one. Yes, you and every caster ever casted me lose that game. Oh no! Your opponent probably, I guess, just sent it out to all casters, and everyone's like, oh, it's a good game, and just cast it. Who else cast it? I'm trying to think who's else is casting games like that at the moment. On like a regular basis. You got Human Boy, who often does his own stuff rather than casting games. I don't think Tisty's casting right now. Darv and Logic, maybe? It's kind of mainly, I think, me, Darv, and Logic who cast replays. You got it's current year as well. It's current year casts quite a few. I think Human Boy main does his own stuff. Restaurant break, grab your drinks and food. Yeah, we're gonna be kicking off in like literally like 20 seconds. I'm just gonna have a little sip of my drink here. There we go. Logic in its current year, yeah. You should send it to Darth Man as well. Try and get everyone involved. Right, so up next though, we are gonna be looking at Neckbert, speaking of the devil. So we have Neckbert with the Vampire Coast against the High Elves of Nina. Second time we've seen High Elves today. First time we've seen Vampire Coast though, so should be a good fun game. Both these players are pretty damn good. Nina is of clan GGX, I believe. And of course Neckbert's just an absolute champ, so representing the Vampire Coast. Representing. So Sign of Sinesh, aka Neckbert versus Nina, with some pretty cool looking builds. It looks like Nina did break the rules though. As well. No. Neckbert is fine with the rules. Nina broke the rules, I'm afraid. So this would have had to been, it depends how this goes. If Neckbert wins, this battle's fine and we can move through. If not, these guys are going to have to replay, I'm afraid. Because there is not triple regiment around here. At all. So, no. But we'll see. We'll see how this goes. Just to discover Logic's channel, Grey Dwarf content. Yeah, he's also my housemate. No, Zach, we got 3 replays to go. And then Monday, we're going to do the rest of the round of 13. We got Alfredino in that one, Falcon in that one, load of people. I'm just waiting for the replays to be sent. And then the Tuesday, we're doing a round of 16 replays. And then, yeah, on and on. All the dates from my Discord, basically. Kind of a shame, see Hadrian and Palpatine have to face each other such early rounds. Oh boy, we had Calahaman versus Falcon. That's like a final. That's and they had to face each other in the best of one. So it's happened to a few people. I think we had Chosen One versus Void as well, and like loads of crazy stuff. Wait, for the forces here of Neckbert, the dastardly villain of our piece here, the evil Vampire Coast, we have the Night Terrors as well as Morngulls. We also have Gunnery Wights, the Double Gunnery Wight, and the Lamprey's Revenge, and more Morngulls as well. Frontline of zombie pirate deckhand mobs and the Tide, and even more zombies dotted all the way along. We do have the Rotting Leviathan as well as Celostra Diathin herself. Oh hell yeah! Come into battle here on top of Mr. Krabs, just vibing, doing her thing. Ghosts of the Past, the Song of Enthrallment. We also have the Kraken's Pull, Tide Call as well. Pretty cool stuff. And she has the Kiss of the Deep. I think it's called Fog of the Damned, I think is an ability from her that I'm a big fan of. We have some deck droppers with bombs. We have Sirens and a load of Scary Dogs as well on the flanks. Is there a similar situation on this side? Nope, just the Night Terrors. Really cool build, like an aggressive rush build from the Vampire Coast. This is low-key taking me like off guard. This is, it still has the double gunnery white, which you expect, but no count Noculus. This is crazy. I love it. The forces of the High Elves, we do have some Illyrian Reavers hidden in the back there on both sides, just to shut down artillery pieces, though there are none here today. We have a load of Rangers, 1, 2, 3, and then so many Archers. Lothran Seaguard, 1, 2, 3, 4 Archers in the middle, more Lothran Seaguard on the right-hand flank, Illyrian Reavers and Dragon Princes, and triple bolt throws. So you can definitely see the High Elves came prepared for a defensive Vampire Coast player. I'm going to outshoot my bolt throws, and my Archers are going to outshoot you, but you can't do that if your opponent is pushing towards you. He does have contingency plans, of course, with the Dragon Princes and Cavalry. Alara the Radiant is up in the skies with Tempest, which is going to be quite tasty today. Star of Avalon and Earthblood, and double Arcane Phoenix, looking to bring the pain. Is it double Arcane? No, 1 Arcane and 1 Flamesfire Phoenix. So without further ado, let's get this battle underway. Those Illyrian Reavers are really going to want to focus down the Morngulls, particularly the Night Terrors, when they discover their presence. Bolt throws are currently aiming at the Lamprey's Revenge. Probably want to shoot them or the Gunnery Wights. I mean, the Crabos as well are pretty big, juicy targets you can get into. That is a lot of undead horrors, though, marching towards the Rangers. Arcane Phoenix, of course, and Flamesfire Phoenix both do magic damage, so the Sirens won't be too much of a problem to deal with, but I like bringing one unit just in case. Like, just in case your opponent hasn't got magic damage, you can dish out a bucket ton of work. Like a bucket ton. From the High Elves right now, I'm bringing a Lariel over here. I'm jumping the Sirens, waiting for the deck droppers to come forward, and then Tempest in them, I think. Though, of course, the Morngulls are nearby as well, and they can be pretty damn deadly. Lamprey's Revenge do actually lose a Crabbo. It's very rare they lose a Crab before actually meeting the front line. They're so tanky. They're taking considerable damage now from the Bolt Throwers, who are really trying their hardest to snipe them. Looks like the Arcane Phoenix and the Flamesfire both going to bomb rush the Sirens, looking to overwhelm them. Should be able to do some good damage there. And the Archer line is really starting to open up fire now. Needs to focus down the Crabs, because they're going to be able to push into the back line really quickly. Ooh, the damage! The damage! Those Gunnery Whites, man, they'll get you. They're so nasty. Dragon Princes are pushing forward now, and it looks like the Lamprey's Revenge may actually die here. That is so quickly they're going to be going down, but we have the Royal Leviathan nearby, and Slosher Diaphin for a bit of support. We do have a... Oh my god, look at this, the Kraken Pool! Oh, what an animation! It's gripping the archers and dragging them into the murky depths of the underworld. Dogs are hopping in the back line, hunting down Lothran Seaguard, and the Phoenixes have been pinned in place by the Mongols, which is a really lovely play there. Rangers also pushing in. Dragon Princes might need to go over there to help assist. A lot of the Radiants trying to get back up into the skies and avoid the Scurvy Dogs where possible. We're about to see a big fat Tempest go down on the deck droppers, catch them off guard. And look at this absolute flustercluck of a fight going on in the middle here. All the Reavers are in the mist. We have Rangers in the mist as well, trying to drag down the Royal Leviathans, and the Gunnery Whites as well as the Lamprey's Revenge are continuing to hold. Despite taking an absurd amount of damage, they're shrugging off. It ain't nothing but a thing to a crab. The distance we can see Slosher Diaphin devouring an Eagle Claw bolt for a crewman, and the High Elves have been well and truly slapped right now. The Night Terrors pushing through onto Lothran Seaguard, who are terrified. I do not blame them. Have you seen these fins destroy your friends? It is not nice whatsoever. Bolt Thrower is trying to support where possible. The big puffs of blood and flesh being flung in all directions. A nice little tsunami come through on the archers, going to push them all down. That'll do the most damage, but hey, it distracts them. And those damned Knights Errant are going to be once again walking over our lawn and hopping on top of the bolt throwers, shutting down a lot of the enemy range. We do have a nice rally though from the High Elves, pouring on that fire. Cavalry as well as pinning in a lot of these large threats. If they can get the missile support, they can still drag down these beasties. On the left hand side, we can see Lothran Seaguard will do okay up against Mongols. It's not the best fight of their lives, but if these Reavers come back and support, and the Rangers as well, kind of clearing up the Sirens on this flank, and get that work done, they should be able to drag down this unit and have a nice pocket of strength for the High Elf forces. Reavers are falling back, Archers are falling back, the Bolt Thrower crew as well, all of this has been shattered. We do have a lovely Star of Avalon going down in the middle on the Dragon Princes. Dragon Princes, though, don't have that good AP, if we're being honest. Unless you're the Regiment Renowned with the anti-large, taking down something like Slosher Diaphin is actually really tough. It's really hard. And despite the hills, I don't think they're going to be doing that much damage. However, the Flamespire and the Arcane Phoenix certainly will be hurting Slosher quite considerably here. She is not going to be enjoying that whatsoever. Very close game so far. I would say the forces of the Vampires are in a better position. A lot of the High Elf units are running and routing, and it's going to come down to their cavalry in these big blob fights. However, if they snipe Slosher Diaphin, then this game could easily switch on its head, and she is really suffering right now from the pressure of those flaming birdos. Lara the Rain leading the charge of the Dragon Princes, and she is starting to crumble, which is really bad news. We are going to see a Earthblood go down. It was an overcast one as well, trying to keep these troops fighting. He's chucking everything possible at Slosher Diaphin. He needs to kill her. He's committed so much forces into that task. We do see a Tempest go down the deck droppers. Lovely usage there to counter them. More Reavers are coming back into the fray, and there's a load of High Elves rallying. Lara Radiant is trying to get up into the skies once more, abandoning her Phoenixes to try to kill this pesky Rotten Leviathan, though she herself is getting pinned in by a lone Mongol, and is going to swoop back around to try to finish the deed because the Dragon Princes are failing her. They're actually getting forced back, and are we going to see her survive this? Down to, let's say how much HP that is. Only 820 HP, still standing firm. Both the Phoenixes trying to peck at that hardened shell, but Mr. Crab shall not let her lady down. Mongol's done a good job. Alaro is once again back up in the skies, and the Song of Enthrallment comes down. A lovely hex. Negative 24 melee attack means she's almost never going to be getting hits here. Is she going to survive this? This is insane. Both the Phoenixes trying their best, and they do manage to drag her down, but at what cost? That is the big problem here. The Dragon Princes are going to be lowering their lances, charging into the main fray. Alaro is also jumping down. But they've got a lot of work to do. Though they've killed the enemy general, there's another Rotten Leviathan here and a lot of Mongols dotted around who can be quite problematic. And the Lamprey's Revenge are somehow alive. That is just wrong. How are they alive? Up to a decent amount of kills here as well. Going to be pulled back into this main fight. And Flamestar Phoenix is being pushed off right now. It will most likely rally and come back, but it is kind of what you see is what you get. We still have the Gunnery Whites, so if you're a VP player, you know as long as you've got a single Gunnery White, you can still win a battle. And it does look like the second Royal Leviathan may go down here, but the Dragon Princes are looking really beat up. Where's the Arcane Phoenix? Did the Arcane Phoenix die? Where are you, my beautiful beast? No, he's just up in the skies. Okay, the Arcane Phoenix here needs to come back, start trying to snipe these single entities. Start the Royal Leviathan and then hunt down those Gunnery Whites. Should be able to do a decent job against the Gunnery Whites. We may see the Vortex come down. We are. That's going to be hopefully used to kind of clear out the Night Terrors a bit more and do some decent damage to them. Flamestar Phoenix is getting really low right now. I would probably take my free flies and go snipe the Lamprey's Revenge. But it's easier said than done because, of course, the vampire player just wants to bring all his forces together at the moment and try to hold hands and kind of work this out together. Dragon Princes are continuing to launch in. Arcane Phoenix needs to be getting in here and helping out. Ilario is currently tanking all of this damage. The Free Birds must fight together if they want any chance of success here. Balance power is slightly in favor of the High Elves, but I don't know. It's a close game. Arcane Phoenix kind of gently soothes down the side of the Leviathan, just giving it a little rub on the way down. And there's probably enough to finish it off, though. The Royal Leviathan, yeah, minus 40 leadership. It is crumbling into dust. And we do get a rather clutch start of Avalon coming in. So now it's Alarielle and both the Phoenixes against the double Gunnery White and the Morghuls. Can they drag them down? It's a very close game. Rangers are forcing off some zombies. We do have Lothran Seaguard coming back. A Bolt for a Cruise can once again man their artillery pieces. Dragon Princes need to launch into this fight. They need to commit. Some Rangers are fighting some zombies in the distance, but no one really cares about that fight. We're all about the big one in the middle. Lario is actually being pushed out of the Star of Avalon and is getting abused by the Morghuls. She's pinned in by the pesky. The Lamprey's Avenge actually pinning her in. I love this so much. It is such a tanky unit. They do eventually die and let her escape, but now everyone's watching their Liege Lord run. She's meant to be the hope of the High Elf people, and she's fleeing from us. We need her back as soon as possible. Phoenix is going to get up in the sky and come down for some sniping and potential. Probably just want to hit the Gunnery White and allow the Lothran Seaguard to whittle down the Morghuls, but this is a crazy close game so far. We do have the zombie deckhand mobs returning. That is 109 troops, which will certainly help here. Lario is very low. She will have to get engaged in combat, though, but she should definitely commit only when her other eagles are down there, have a big threat overload, and snipe out one single Gunnery White. Can the Gunnery Whites do this? We've seen them do this time and time again, where they kind of can win games, snatch like victory from the jaws of defeat. Iclaw Bolt for a Curve just moved into combat for some reason. Like, we don't need to man our weapons. We're here to face this evil like men and fight them hand to hand. Rangers doing a decent job. They're doing actually pretty good punishment to the Morghuls due to that low armor. But the Arcane Phoenix is fine alone. It is fine alone. Alarielle is kind of swooping around, taking on deckhand mobs. She has to fight with her big eagles, and one of them has in fact gone down. This one's at its healing cap, and now the balance of power swifts very heavily back in favor of the vampires, and I think they're going to do it. Alarielle, I know you're weakened, but you have to commit to this kind of fight, particularly in one of like such importance. And I think the High Elves are not going to be able to do this, guys. The Morghuls could be finished off by the Lothran Seaguard, but it looks like the Phoenix gone down, so both Phoenixes go down, and the High Elves retreat. Wow. Wow, that was insane. That was insane. That was a really good game. Well played to Nekba. He clawed that one back. Lamprey's Revenge. They got annihilated the whole battle, and it was just like, it's a flesh wound. It's a flesh wound. I'll get over it. They eventually went down, but they may be the MVPs for me. Pinning in Alario at the end. 1,500 HP. Oh, lovely work. Well played to Nina, by the way. He did forget his triple Regiment Renown, though, so if he had won this, we'd have got blessed by watching this game again, which would have been pretty cool. But, yeah. Lamprey's Revenge, amazing. The deck droppers countered masterfully, though, by the Tempest. Royal Leviathan, 1.2k. Celostra, 2.5. I like the Song of Enthrallment. It's a really nice hex as well. Helped her out at that key moment. Gunnery Whites, 2.5k and 2k damage value, man. Gunnery Whites are some of the most disgusting units in the game, man. They're so good. I almost never see them not get value. It's crazy how powerful they are. The infantry didn't do too crazy. I mean, 26 kills here on the Tide's not bad. 650 value and 54 kills on a unit of deckhand mobs. Hell yeah! Go on, zombies. 740 value. Oh, no, 740. Hey, 740, my god. Syrenes, unfortunately, yeah, it's got jumped by the Phoenixes. Warhounds, well, not too much. But Morghuls, 2,546 HP. 773 and 1.2k, so less so much than the others, but that unit, my god. Forward to the end as well. Lovely build coming in by Nekba. Really good performance by him. For Nina, let's have a little look. Allow the Radiant, 1.8k damage value. 1,000 on the Lothran Seaguard is not too shabby whatsoever. The Learning Reavers don't do too much, unfortunately. The Dragon Prince is 1.5 and 799 damage value. Bolt Throwers, they just got, the formation just got smashed. It just got smashed, and the crabs came through and shut them down, so they didn't have the longest time to shoot. I think he was probably expecting a more defensive approach from the Vampire Coast and got kind of caught off guard here. 596 damage value, 321 and 478. Arcane Phoenix got just shy of 2,000 value and 1.3 on the Flames Fire, both of them getting very close to their healing cap. The infantry, big kills, like 118, 22 and 17 is not quite so impressive. and 695 damage value, but at the end of the day, was all on chaff, right? So it doesn't get the most value, at least not the value you'd kind of expect from kills like that. So very well played there to Nekbert. He'll be going through to the round of 16. 2 games left. We have HR. So Call HR up against Raziel. It is Wood Elves versus Warriors of Chaos. We saw a game like this earlier on. I think it was our first game today, which was Void vs Nutmeg, which the Chaos just butchered the Wood Elves in like a record time. We're going to have to see how this one does go. And then we have Human Boy Yes Yes versus the Green One, which is going to be an absolute balmy game. An absolute balmy game for sure. You got crabs, exactly. Yeah, nicely done, Nekbert. Very nicely done. I tried to bring a fun army. It kind of ended up in a blob, but I'm just happy my Mongols did work. They did really good work, honestly. Well, one unit in particular did amazing. That was a good game for sure. It's not over till the fat lady sings. The fat lady died, so she's never going to sing. So I guess it's never over, right? It's never over. Yeah, the Phoenixes were a problem, but the VP did really good. The Kraken Pool was OG. Kraken Pool was definitely OG. I love a close fight. You can't get too much closer than that. That's why crabs are the pinnacle of evolution. They've mastered the art of evolution. What's up, WWW? If Horned Rat has the more followers, why isn't him the strongest Chaos thing? I guess he's probably waiting. He's waiting, biding his time. Waiting to unleash his power upon the world. The Kraken Summon Vortex is kind of like the new Nurgle Boil spell. Yeah, well, like the boil, is like, oh, like fill him with pus and then it explodes. Man, the next game's gonna look so beautiful. So disgusting, but so beautiful. The animations on the Nurglings, it all looks so good. I can't wait. I really can't wait to hop in and play it. The 2 games left, guys, for stream. Sorry I missed the game. What happened? Storm, man. It was a wild game. It was a wild game. Mess with the Crabbo, you get the Stabbo. Exactly. So let's hop into this game. It is Raziel versus Call HR. Gonna have a little sip of my drink whilst we load in. And it is Warriors of Chaos with a rush build. Ooh, Forsaken Rush. Oh, we get Zotes. Oh, hell yeah. So, Call HR, bring some Zotes. Zotes are actually pretty decent against chariots. If anyone does struggle with chariots as Wood Elves, you can actually bring Zotes to do relatively decent effect against them. But let's slow this down. It looks like it's going to be a battle that's going to get underway quite quickly. So, the Wood Elf player this time not having his kind of range to disengage from his main battle line, so he can protect them. It looks like we have Glade Riders in the front, a load of Dryads as well, protecting triple Way Watchers. Okay, so this can be quite tough. He needs to protect the Way Watchers. They are his complete win goal. They have to use up their ammunition on correct targets. There's such a big investment. We have 3 of them here today, one of which is the Hawkeyes of Drakira. We do have Eternal Guard. We have Great Stag Knights. We have the Enigmas as well, the Regiment Renowned Zotes. We have a Spellsing of Life with Regrowth and Earthblood, Great Stag Knights, and the Wild Hunters of Kurnos. Up in the skies, we have a Glade Lady coming in Breath Attack and the Prey of Anaf Rayma. For the Warriors of Chaos, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 units of Skirmish Cav, all of which is Horsemasters, a load of infantry, my god, Forsaken, Demon Spew, Chaos Warriors, Mirror Guard, more Chaos Marauders, more Forsaken, all of the forces of Chaos being brought to the battlefield, double Chariots, double Manticores. We also have the Summoners of Rage in the central pocket. We then have a Chaos Sorcerer of Death and a Chaos Sorcerer of Fire. We have the Flaming Sword of Rune and Burning Head, as well as Doom and Darkness, or was that Aspect of the Dread Knight? I always get those two confused. It is Aspect of the Dread Knight and Spirit Leech, and Sigvald is going to be bringing the Mirror Guard with him. Look at the boys. The lads charging in. I don't know how they see through this. I feel like it'd be a big disadvantage when fighting. They'd probably be much better at fighting if they could see what they were doing. Without further ado, let's get this battle underway. No Dragon Ogres? There is Dragon Ogres, I think. There. Boo. Summoners of Rage. Summoners of Rage. Well, what's up, McFrightface? Hope your meeting went relatively well as it could be. The Emerald Horsemasters are being forced back here. The Glade Riders are going to be unleashing hell upon them. And nice target priority instantly here from the Wood Elf player. Focus down those Forsaken. Trying to get them off the field as quickly as possible. The Chariots will be a problem. Now, there's 2 of them, which is kind of annoying. Because, like, he has the Zotes, which could counterpunch 1 and protect the Way Watchers. But the Way Watchers are getting a little bit closer to the front line now as the rest of the Wood Elf forces pull back, and the Way Watchers are a little bit slow there to withdraw, and this could be really deadly. The Horsemasters spurring their horses faster and faster, looking to jump the Way Watchers. These droids need to push forward and save your friends. No! No! Chariots launching, Manticores launching, Hawkeyes of Drakira do have a flash bomb, so they might be able to fall back. Great Stags move in, Enigmas push in, and this is kind of a problem. Like, the Way Watchers are getting all jumped now, and it's forcing all the other Wood Elf units to engage in, like, a rush engagement. That's just what the Chaos Chaos want? They want a big fat blob fight. They know they have the upper hand there. The Manticore is going to jump Great Stags on this left-hand flank, which was attempting to deal with some Forsaken, and it is a mess in the middle right now. Weight Watchers are trying to fall back. We are going to get a lovely breath attack go down the line. That can do some really nice damage. Zotes are engaging, and they have slaughtered this Chaos Pharaoh Manticore, bonking on the head all day, every day, with the help as well, of course, of the Great Stag Knight, so they're going to die, so no one will be able to tell their point of view of the battle. Giants get roasted by a burning head. Nice catch in the back, though. Wild Hunter Kurnos start butchering the Horse Masters before they retreat once more. But if some Weight Watchers are starting to stabilize, you can see they are kind of falling back in drips and drabs. It looks like the basic unit was the one to return, but they lost that middle fight really badly there. Real kind of hardcore style. And the Glade Lady up in the skies just doesn't have anywhere to land right now. She can't land in this giant blobby fist of chaos in the middle. She's going to have to float out to the sides. Horse Masters once again have allowed themselves to be caught by the Wild Hunters of Kurnos and butchered. Manticore is dueling the Glade Lady up in the skies and does take a big chunk out the neck there of the dragon, who is swooping back and slapping the smaller beast left, right, and center. Chaos Chariots are running over the Weight Watchers, and as we said earlier on, the Weight Watchers were basically 100% needed to use up almost all the ammunition, and they've used barely like 2 or 3 volleys. And they're being forced back, which is really, really a shame. I love seeing Weight Watchers in action, but I think this is already over. Great Stag Knights need to try and try their best, but there's so much infantry. It's like an infinite amount of infantry, and still Sigvald on full health left. Like, the Glade Lady's trying. She's coming over to this main fight looking to support, but they just got hammered so bad, and without the Waystalkers, or without the Weight Watchers support, they don't have enough to deal with all these like huge amounts of threats. We are about to see a spell come down as well. I believe this is a Summoners of Range Chain Lightning, but it looks like the Wood Elves are going to be bowing out there. A pretty swift victory there by Raziel, but you know, cool HR, he tried what he could, but once the Weight Watchers got like beaten down, I think he tried pulling back his army and forgot the Weight Watchers when they needed to retreat with the army. And though they got some good volleys off early on, 200 value, 360, 206, they're so expensive, and they're like the majority of your damage output. Zotes got 630 value. The Wild Hunters got 578, 600, and 600 value from the Great Stag Knights. The Glade Lady up in the sky got 1,000 damage value, so not the greatest, unfortunately, across the board from the Wood Elves, but they didn't have the chance really to shine after some bright initial engagements, right? Like, the cavalry was shooting down Forsaken, the Weight Watchers were shooting the Forsaken, but it's a big, nasty 20 stack by Raziel, and it just forced its way through. Prince Sigvald, the Magnificent, 466 value on him, 939 on the Chaos Sorcerer of Fire, 680 damage value on the Chaos Sorcerer of Death. Marauders across the board did, you know, not too bad, nothing too crazy, unfortunately, for them. 970 on one unit of Forsaken. Is there any other standouts? 950 on the Demon Spew. Chariots did a good job just pushing through. And the Horse Masters, you know, 780 value, 666, 750, 1.1 on the Manticore, 400 Manticore, 1.5 on the Summons of Rage. Pretty decent stuff. Pretty decent stuff indeed. Cool HR and DJ, call me. The Dowie. I don't know if we're going to get the Dowie. We have one game left for today. Now, we don't have all the replays yet for the round of 32. I do need to start tracking players down and be like, hey, give me your replays. But we'll be dropping those on Monday. So we're doing another live stream of this on Monday. One more stream today, though. I think we've gone through 9 games. There will be 16 total from this round. Players are already playing the round of 16. And once that round of 16 is, you know, done, then we'll be going on to the quarterfinals, and all of that will be live streamed. Nobody likes Dwarf, says Phoenix King. Surprisingly, every video I do of Dwarfsing does better than every video without Dwarfsing. I don't know what it is. Like, Dwarfs has this, like, real loyal fan base. Every time I do a video of Dwarfs, like, people come out the woodwork and check it out. Who wins? The ROR, Zotes or Dragon Ogres? Dragon Ogres, I would think comfortably. Because they're anti-large, but the Zotes have more utility in, like, battle, right? They have, like, regrowth and flesh of stone. So maybe, actually, with the regrowth and the flesh of stone, maybe they'd be able to win it. Without using their bound abilities, the Dragon Ogres would absolutely slap them, like, hardcore style. But with the regrowth plus flesh to stone, maybe they would win it. We can do a test after, maybe. We've got one more game where Chuck can do a test. We can do a little test. If you jump in the Zote boat, you won't float. F's in chat for the Zotes. Yeah, they kind of just got pushed in there. And they died. They died. I don't understand. Why does everyone hate Zotes again? Yeah, Nurglings are really the highlight so far of Warhammer 3 for me. I agree, Zach. Mm-hmm. I don't know why everyone hates Zote so much. But anyway, we've got one game left. Let's have a little sip of our drink. It is Human Boy Yes Yes versus the green one. And once again, guys, this is the last game of the stream. So if you have been enjoying, feel free to like, feel free to subscribe as well, stick around into the future. And this weekend, we're doing a trial. I'm dropping 2 videos every day, rather than just 1 video, to see how much the YouTube algorithm is going to hate me. If it goes well, and YouTube doesn't kind of punish me too much for dropping multiple videos, because it does. It really hates people pin up more videos. It kind of like hamstrings them both. But if it doesn't hamstring me too much, we may do that as a format going forward. It is a lot more work, but hey, if we can manage to do it as much as possible, it'd be pretty cool. So it's going to be a test this this weekend, really. They're so expensive for what they bring, because they're dragon ogres with a haircut. I mean, they're like little turtles. They're like little turtles. I understand they've got like the same attack animations and stuff, but once again, more beastmen. But for the first time today, we are seeing the Dark Elves. So we see Human Boy Yes Yes, who's a legendary YouTuber himself. I actually cast a battle with Human Boy, I think today. I think it went up today against Logic, which is really cool. And then we have the green one of ODM. Used to be of a different clan, but he has, I think it was EC, I think it was called. But he has made the switch to ODM, and he's a really lovely dude as well, and streams on Twitch. So it's a bit of a YouTuber smackdown today, or YouTube versus Twitch. So we've got Twitch with the green one, and YouTube here coming in for Mr. Human Boy Yes Yes and his Dark Elf Legions. Lovely defensive formation. We have a load of Dread Spears, just in a kind of happy face situation. Look at that, like big smiley face there. Only the one eye, which is a bit weird. But with the Blades of the Blood Queen in the back, with Bleak Swords and Double Reaper Bolt Throws, no Dread Spears spread along. We do have the Raven Heralds, which is really awesome to see, as well as the crews of the Cain Regiment renowned Harpies. No Manticore in the sky, 2 Ferromanticores, as well as 1, 2, 3, 4 Scourge Runner Chariots, and then we have a double Cainite Assassin, which is pretty cool. We do have a Marathi up in the skies, kind of a Soul Sealer as well as her wand, so pretty smart build. It's, hey, I'm going to push forward, I'm going to annoy you with my Assassins, I'm going to annoy you with my Scourge Runners. Can be risky moving Assassins forward like this. I've seen them being hunted down and killed multiple times before, which sometimes can be rather, you know, not too good for the Dark Elves, but hey, we've got Marathi, we've got Raven Heralds, a load of fast moving elements, and we're going to fall back to our defensive box. For the Beastmen, it is just a swarm. It is a swarm of the Brayherd Gores, Ungores dotted all the way along the line. Loads of Centaurs and Centaur Throne Axes to back them up. More Centaurs on the left-hand side. We have Chaos Spawn, 2 units in the middle, as well as the Butchers of Kalengard in the very center pocket. We do have a Braysharm once again on foot, so where are the chariots gone? I guess other people have been using them, so they've had to make do with what they have. Spirit Leech, Braysharm of Death down on the ground. Gorbel, as well as Taurox the Brass Ball. Now, if I'm Human Boy, I'm immediately coming over here, as long as I can avoid the Manticores and annoy them with Scourge Runner Chariots, and I'm just going to shoot this Braysharm with the Raven Heralds. I'm going to annihilate this Braysharm so you don't get any magic for the whole game. Pretty cool build, though. Going to be very rush-focused. Let's see if he can push forward, surround, and really throttle the Dark Elf Resistance. So the Scourge Runners are just wasting some shots into the destroyers, but it's fine. They've got plenty of ammo at the moment. We are getting a spread shot as well, going dangerously close to the Harpies, but launching up and over into the Centaur Throne Axes, which is good to see. People actually, you know, splitting up, going into that split shot. You don't see it enough, and it can really do some decent damage. Raven Heralds are focusing down Centaurs. Again, pretty decent target that they are able to juke the majority of the shots there. Scourge Runner Chariots have moved forward, looking to bring the pain. We do get the first Spirit Leech of the day. It is Overcast to do a bit of an extended range on the Scourge Runners. That won't be enough to kill a model, though. You have to do multiple of them. It's kind of like a long game plan to whittle them down. The Centaurs are going to continue to push forward, as well as all the Gores and Ungores. They're taking quite a lot of damage. The Dark Elves, as expected, doing a lot of damage out of the gate, but how are they going to fare when the battle truly unfolds? We have some sneaky Centaurs moving into the trees, and there is a bit of a gap here. There's only swordsmen in the back rather than spearmen, so they might be able to push on and actually shut down at both these bolt throws, which would be a really nice play. Double Assassin is in big trouble now. They're about to be jumped by the Manticores who swoop down, so they are kind of struggling. They do get hit by Web of Shadows, though, hopefully allowing the Cainite Assassins to retreat, but oh my god! Oh, poor Assassin, he came to kill, and he was killed. Yeah, that Assassin is taking brutal damage, but we do have the Manticores who can come over. There's also a bit of a bait, because we have the Soul Sealer going down, so Marathi may come with the Manticores to try to save the day. Big fight going down. Harpies coming, but there's so many Centaurs. If they move over and support, it's going to get super messy super fast. Not that much infantry has hit the front line yet. We do have Centaurs wiping out Reaper Bolt for a cruise in the back, of course. Dark Elf Micro is 100% going to be focused in this main fight. One Manticore has gone down. Torx Brassball's nearly dead. Oh my god, look at this focus fire on him. He's taken so much punishment with Assassin's Trophies popped as well. Raven Heralds, 360 no-scoping from the skies, plus the bolt thrower shots coming in. He's taken so much work, and this was a really good engagement in the end for the Dark Elves. We've got a Manticore gone, we've got Taurox gone, and the Assassin has somehow slivered to freedom. The, what's left in here? It's like all rampaging. The Harpies look like they're going to be going down, unfortunately, as well as the Canine Assassin, but Marafi's out of there, so lovely engagement by the Dark Elves. Finns are kind of coming up trumps for them so far. Squadron Chariots, though, are starting to be shut down by Ungor Spearheads. This is certainly not what you want to see. You want to see these guys pull back as much as possible. Tentacles did manage to kill one Reaper Bolt for her crew. However, the Blades of the Blood Queen stepped forward and just started decapitating Centaurs left, right, and center, hamstringing them, dragging them down to the ground, and finishing them off for good. Bolt throws continue to be launched in right now. We do have Torx Brassball going down, and that's really rough there. Are the Assassins going to pay for it with their life? One is broken. The other one is a very close, including the Butchers of Kalkengard. Lovely soul stealer by Marafi there. The Assassins still just don't want to die. They just don't want to die. The Gorbor is trying to lead his troops, but he can't because he's having to deal with these guys. But down the Assassin goes, trodden under hoof. Manticore is flying up in the sky. Centaurs do pull backwards. The Chaos Spawn as well. Don't really want to engage with Dread Spears, and this could come down to the fact there's just so many Dread Spears left on the field. The Chariot's doing a decent job trying to protect the back line against the Centaurs, taking a load of damage in return, but in comes the Dread Spears, and Marathi is flying nearby in case she is needed to support. We get a big fat wand come down onto the Bray Shaman, looking to assassinate them where possible. And where are the Raven Heralds? Are they down in the dirt somewhere, maybe charging in? Hopefully they haven't been killed. I really like the Raven Heralds. They've done a decent job today so far as well. Looks like the Squadron Chariots doing a fine job trying to run through the enemy. Dread Spears as well are in the mists. Dread Spears holding firm, holding really firm. Plus we still have 74 Blades of the Blood Queen getting in here and really bringing the pain to the enemy. So many Beastmen forces are starting to rout, and there's nothing really that can catch Marathi. I mean, she's been hit by a Spirit Leech, which sure is going to hurt, but she has Soul Stealers, she can heal up, and the Beastmen, though bounce power is pretty even, I think in a really disadvantaged position. The Gorbal can't even beat Marathi at the moment one-on-one. The Butchers are trying their best, but there's a load of Dread Spear support, and the Blades of the Blood Queen are good against any enemy. They're really quite tanky. The Chaos Spawn in the back have managed to trap and ensnare some Squadron of Chariots, which is all good. They will drag them down, but those 360 no-scopes are also doing quite a lot of pain to them. There's only 4 Chaos Spawn left. That's going to take quite a while to grind through the enemy. Beastmen player, just going to pull back a little bit. Pull back, reevaluate, try to get in there at the right time with the cavalry. Get all these thrown axes in there, dishing out the pain. But the Gorbal is being driven back, and the Squadron of Chariots are going to hunt him down like the beast he is. And he managed to juke a lot of shots there, but every shot that connects is really quite rough. And I don't think the Beastmen can do this. I really don't know what they're going to do against all of these spear units. Load of access to go up against Marathi. This is always a good play, right? If you're struggling, call your enemy caster, and then you may be able to break this due to effective cycle charging from the Centaurs. We're about to see a really nasty Soul Stealer come down. The Centaurs darting and dashing between each other, trying to get out of each other's way to avoid the Soul Stealer. Unfortunately, they all do catch it. It does look like some of the Dread Spears are being forced back, and maybe effective cycle charging from the Centaurs will be enough to break this. More Centaurs being driven away by Marathi. She's not quite near her healing cap, though you can see it just make an appearance on the edge of the bar. Squadron of Chariots hunting down Centaurs. Really good target priority for them. And the Bray Shaman's kind of open if Marathi fancies doing a cheeky bit of a snipey snipe. In the main fight, the Butchers of Kalkengard are regenerating, trying to keep it together. There's only 2 of them left, however, and only 19 kills, but all the Dread Spears break. So just as I was like, oh yeah, these Dread Spears, there's nothing to deal with them. Green One proves me wrong instantly and just kills all the Dread Spears without really breaking too much of a sweat. Squadron Chariots are committing to the fight, but Marafi's still here, and she's very scary, particularly if she can ally herself with the Blades of the Blood Queen. All her debuffs stack on top of each other, and it's really nasty. Spirit Leech is going to catch out Marathi. She's definitely saving up for another Soul Stealer. Bleak Swords are going to be moving in, and the Chariots have been surrounded and ensnared by the Bray Shaman, who's kind of leading this charge. Butchers are still fighting somehow, 2 models, and all the Centaurs are surrounding as well. But in come the Bleak Swords, and the Squadrons are actually being forced back and terrified right now by the Beastmen forces. We do have Ungor Spearheads on the approach as well. The Marathi diving down, swooping into the Ungor Spearheads, looking to finish them off for good. We actually have a Feral Manticore who can return. That is a large chunk of terror, and so a unit which, if it rear attacks Marathi, can do a bucket ton of damage. Is there any more units on the battlefield? We've got some Centaurs who can return, but they're very beat up. Butchers are continuing to heal. Squadron of Chariots going to pull out. Now it's the Dark Elves' time to kind of pull out and chill, relax, contemplate life, and fire a few shots into the Centaurs whilst they can use up this ammunition. Every model that goes down is really going to help quite massively. Centaurs do some, or some Minotaurs I should say, do some roly-polies into the enemy, but then decide, you know what, this probably wasn't the best idea, and they start to retreat. Balance power, though, is going very heavy now in favour of the Dark Elves, and I can certainly see why. The Dreadspears have rallied, the Manticore's been shattered, Marathi is going to swoop down and perhaps try to assassinate the last little smidge of leadership that the Beastmen have, but looks like Marafi's going to be playing quite a careful and cautious game, which I think she could easily jump over here and kill the Bray Shaman. The Butchers aren't really going to be a problem for her, but at the same time, you know, what's the point in risking it, particularly in a high-stakes tournament like this? Simply chill and then fly it in the sky and stuff. Blades of Blood Queen can be moving in. Squadron of Chariots do get caught out by a Centaur here, although they themselves are about to be jumped by the Blades. The Blades coming with their samurai style of warfare, just carving their way through the enemy with beautiful efficiency. We have Dreadspears catching up, and this is going to be very close to army losses soon. The more ammunition which is expended is the worse it's going to get for the Beastmen, and their forces do start to waver and break, and it looks like Human Boy, yes, will be going through into the next round. That was crazy. That was crazy. So very well played there to both these players. That was a Pyrrhic victory. A pretty good battle as well, actually. I must admit, to be the last one for the stream. We've still got like a little bit to do on stream yet, so don't go anywhere just yet. But I'll speak to you guys about that after this battle. But well played to the Green One. An absolute champ. I played a best of 7 not too long ago against Green One, and it was really good fun. He's a really lovely dude, makes some great content on Twitch as well. He's been hosting a content creators tournament, it's been really awesome, so definitely go check him out. And Human Boy as well is also a YouTuber, and this was a punch, right? And it does kind of prove YouTube is better than Twitch, right? The YouTuber beat the Twitch streamer, so, you know, just saying. Torx Brass Ball, 0 kills, 34 damage value, and that was the big problem. Getting Torx sniped like that, it's so hard not to get him sniped when there's 4 Scourge Runners and 2 Bolt Throwers and 2 Assassins and Marathi and Double Manticore and Raven Heralds. It just, the list goes on. Like, this is such a snipe-heavy, evil Dark Elf build right here. And yeah, Torx paid for his life. 1.3k though on the Brave Shaman, kept him alive really nicely. 780 as well on the Gobble isn't too shabby. Infantry didn't really connect super well, unfortunately. Didn't do too much work. Likewise, the Manticores, 900 value was the best, but they just got taken out of the air game quite quickly. Centaurs of Throne Axes did a really nice job. 1000 value, 915, 960. And the Centaur play was really top-notch. 690, 920 damage value, 690 value, and 586, with 132 kills being the standout. Chaos Spawn, 1.2k. Seen a lot of Chaos Spawn this tournament, which is so weird. I don't see them that often, honestly, but they did a pretty decent job here today. 444 damage value, 1.2k, and then 520 on the Butchers, who tried fighting to the death, but they weren't quite able to. As for Human Boy, 3,200 damage value on the Ice Power Simp Marathi, getting 49 kills, 14k damage dealt. Double Assassin, 1.3 and 1.3k damage apiece. So kind of chucking them forward and yeeting them like that did pay dividends. So it was kind of a trap that Green One did eventually go into. Then you get Double Web of Shadows, you get Soul Sealer. It's pretty disgusting stuff for sure. The Bleak Swords, did, you know, okay, nothing crazy. Low hundreds damage value-wise for the infantry. Blaze of the Blood Queen, very healthy in the end and still got 1.5k damage value and 137 kills. Very nice work, lads. Very nice work. And the Raven Heralds, 1,000 value. Raven Heralds are really not a bad unit. They're really not. Everyone thinks they're a meme. They can dish out some pain. 830 value on the Scourge Runners, 1.2, 677, and 727. Nice to see. Manticore's got 640 value and 320, so not the best on their behalf. Bolfer as well, also struggling. Good play by Green One just to envelop the Dark Elves and eventually shut them down for good. So, yeah, really good work there by both players. Ooh. Let's hope with that. So that's going to be it for the games today. Hope you guys have enjoyed. It's a really nasty build. Yeah, that was a good build, man. That was a scary build. We've seen Torx lose a lot today, actually. We've seen a lot of Beastmen losses. Even in the Beastmen mirror match, Torx went down. Yeah, that was really good fun. So, hope you guys enjoyed that. If you did, make sure to like and subscribe and all that good stuff. We'll be back on Monday, hopefully, with the remainder of the replays from this round. And then Tuesday, we'll be doing the round of 16 replays. And then Thursday, we'll be doing the quarterfinals. And then from that point, I think it's that Thursday's quarterfinals live stream. Not replays, like everything's live. Then the next week, Thursday, semi-finals, and Friday finals. So it should be some good fun it's a really awesome tournament so far. I've been enjoying the builds. I've been enjoying the mix-up of, you know, everyone having had to have regiment renowns and having to have these ultra funds and stuff. It really does change quite a bit of the tournament. So, Windows just keeps telling me stuff, which I don't need to know. It's annoying. It's like popping up and like, hey, you need to update this. I'm like, no, I shall never update. I shall never update. No Dowie, only sunsets. Oh, no dawn, only sunsets. But before we do go, what we're going to do now is we're going to go on a cheeky little raid. So, let's go on a raid. We're going to find someone else who's streaming Total Warhammer, and we're going to go jump them, okay? Total Warhammer. I'll try and find a My Player stream, but it's going to be a bit tough. There's not that many My Player streamers around anymore. So let's go live. So we have Logic is streaming. He's a really cool dude. He is doing campaign though. Campaign. Yeah, no one's doing My Player. Cool. I will shoot you over to Logic. Feel free to go say hello. Really cool dude. He is kind of doing an Alpha campaign, but with banner rules, interestingly enough. So he's doing campaign, but mixing in some of the multiplayer as well. So here's a link to his channel. Hope you guys enjoyed. Looks like people did. It was fun today. It was fun, Caradoc, as well. Shame you couldn't play today, man. That would have been really cool as well to have you in this tournament. But you're the man, Steve. I don't know who Steve is, but yeah, Steve, you're the man. You're the man, my dude. Yeah, that was a good duck time. Good night. No worries, guys. Yeah, I'm working all weekend, so you're not going to be seeing me around too much in the Discord and stuff. But I'll still be uploading videos. In fact, I'm doubling the amount of videos I'm not going to be doing there. So, you know, it is what it is. Catch you later, guys. I will see you on the next one, I think. Let's quickly look through chat. Make sure I didn't miss anything too crucial. Boop. Don't think so. Thank you as well, guys, for the donations today. That was really lovely. Getting the two $10 donations. I appreciate you guys a bucket ton. So let's go over and raid Logic now. Feel free to yell quack at him. Demand bread, like brutally. So till next Thursday, no Caradoc. Monday, we're going to be doing the rest of the round of 32 replays. Tuesday, we're doing the round of 16 replays. And then Thursday will be the live, like the players will be playing on live stream for the quarterfinals and stuff. Yes. So until next time, guys, peace, and as always, stay